we've uncovered some spine-chilling trail camera footage that captures the unimaginable and the terrifying. It's in these shadowy depths that trail cameras stand as silent sentinels, capturing the secrets of the untamed. These cameras, meant to document the natural world, inadvertently record something far more sinister. And with that, let's do this. Mysterious cryptid sightings. This intriguing clip has been making rounds on the internet for several years, appearing in various forms. The video's location remains uncertain, with many believing it was filmed in Mexico. Let's take a closer look at what's been freaking people out. The footage shows a creature lurking in the shadows, covered in fur and appearing bipedal. Suddenly, it dashes away at an astonishing speed, leaving viewers both amazed and spooked. Despite numerous speculations over the years, the true nature of this mysterious creature remains unknown. Some believe it could be a remarkable CGI creation, while others, meticulously analyzing the frames, think it might be a genuine cryptid sighting. In pursuit of Bigfoot. In this riveting encounter, the cameraman finds himself in a mix of emotions, both worried and excited, as he faces what could be Bigfoot.
Get in the house! Get in the house!
He quickly urges his loved ones to seek safety indoors, while he ventures on a pursuit filled with anticipation. The mysterious being, covered in hair and large, cautiously moves along a forest road, disappearing into the dense foliage. During the pursuit, occasional grunts and ape-like hoots pierce the air, hinting at the creature's presence. These vocalizations seem to serve as warnings, urging the cameraman to maintain distance and proceed with caution. Wise to heed the advice, he decides to back off, considering the creature's imposing size and evident strength.
Dancing bear. The Wildlife Channel put cameras in the jungle to see the animals there. They were hoping to film them doing normal things, but what the cameras showed was surprising. The bears they caught on camera were dancing and moving their bodies like Shakira. It's pretty amazing that bears can dance like that, but did you know that bears also get itchy? And instead of scratching themselves with their paws like we do, they use trees. And look at them go. They're really enjoying themselves, aren't they? Lion intruders. When you go camping, unexpected guests might drop by, like mosquitoes and other bugs if you're lucky. But if you're not, like the guy in this video, a big male lion and two lionesses might pay you a visit. The man was sleeping soundly in his tent when all of a sudden this happened. Luckily, he stayed put and didn't try to run away. The lion seemed more curious than anything and didn't harm him. Despite the scare, the camper had an unforgettable night. Breathing earth. So there's this really weird thing that a camera caught in the forest. It looked like the earth was moving up and down, almost like it was taking a break from spinning and going around the sun. People call it the breathing earth because it's like the ground is breathing. This happens when the wind is strong and the ground is loose. It can be pretty scary if you don't know what's going on. You might think the earth is going to swallow you up. It's definitely one of the craziest things ever caught on trail camera. A massive spider. Someone caught a really creepy video and posted it online. It shows a creature that looks like a spider or maybe a crab, and it scared a lot of people. At first, I thought it was just a dog dressed up in a spider suit, but when I took a closer look, I realized it definitely wasn't a dog. The only dog in the video looked totally freaked out by the weird bent-legged things too. So we're all pretty confused about what it could be. Buck shedding antlers. So there was this male deer in Ottawa, Canada that got caught on camera losing its antlers. It might seem strange to us, but it's actually a regular thing for male deer to lose their antlers in winter to make way for new ones. The shedding process usually happens from late winter to early spring. It was funny to see that the deer in the video seemed surprised by what was happening and ran away looking confused. Weird lights. It's really hard to figure out what those lights in the sky are. Some people think they might be aliens, but others think it's just a bug in front of the camera. Do you think this means aliens are visiting us, or maybe they're here but we don't even know it? Also, what about those strange flying objects we sometimes see? The government just released a report on them, but there's still not enough evidence to know for sure what they are. Bird murmuration. We know how birds travel from one place to another in flocks, all flying together to search for new places to live and feed, right? But this murmuration of a massive flock of birds was just something else. Even the researchers said they'd never seen such a kind of behavior in birds before, and that it might be alarming as well.
Ghost cat. During one spooky night, a security camera caught something peculiar. A ghostly cat strolling across a front porch. It was like Casper's long-lost cousin. The see-through feline seemed to vanish into thin air as it crossed the porch, leaving everyone baffled. Was it a ghostly apparition or just a camera glitch? Either way, it was a perfectly good encounter. That'll leave you with goosebumps. Terrifying ritual in woods. In the depths of Vancouver, a wildlife enthusiast sets up a trail camera, hoping to capture some critters. Instead, they record pure nightmare fuel. Two women covered in black hair feast on a deer's carcass. Are they witches, or are we dealing with something even darker? Walking demons? And who's that mysterious man lurking nearby? The images raise more questions than answers. And we're left haunted by the eerie possibilities. Mysterious forest wanderer. A brave soul once decided to follow something mysterious in the woods. He spotted a tall, black, two-footed creature with super long arms lurking between the trees. It was like Bigfoot himself was taking a stroll in the wilderness. The guy zoomed in, but the creature remained an enigma. Was it the legendary Bigfoot, or just a fellow hiker on an adventure? Nobody knows for sure, but it sure added some excitement to his day. Golden Eagle's bold feast. With awe and wonder, a trail cam captured the remarkable strength of a golden eagle as it took flight with a fox firmly grasped in its talons. The magnificent raptor demonstrated its hunting prowess, showcasing its ability to overpower animals larger than itself. Though the feat was extraordinary, the circumstances were unique, as the fox had already succumbed to its fate, making the eagle's meal relatively effortless. Creepy encounter in French woods. 11 years ago, in the heart of a dark French forest, a group of friends gathered for a night of revelry and drinks. Little did they know that their fateful decision to record their escapades would lead them to something far beyond their imagination. Amidst laughter and banter, they suddenly spotted an eerie figure lurking behind a tree. While some brushed it off as a mere cat, the unsettling truth dawned upon them. This was no ordinary creature. With its elongated limbs and peculiar movements, it bore a striking resemblance to an extraterrestrial being. Their creepy encounter was caught on tape, and ever since, the mysterious footage has continued to haunt viewers, sparking debates over its authenticity. Lost in the shadows. If we let our imagination run wild, this photo could lead us to a whimsical tale. It's almost as if the coyote is having a conversation with the girl, telling her they found something strange in the woods. Living together with the pack in this mystical woodland, she follows the coyote's lead to investigate. They discuss the curious find, and she realizes it's just a camera. In this make-believe scenario, they retreat into the woods, continuing their harmonious coexistence. Of course, in reality, none of this can happen. So we're left pondering the true story behind the photo. What exactly is unfolding between the girl and the coyote? Playful spirits. At the beginning of the video, our attention is immediately captured by the peculiar sight of a hospital bed moving on its own. At first glance, one might think it's just a gentle breeze causing the movement, but upon closer inspection, it becomes clear that the bed's actions are erratic and seemingly independent. The absence of any other movement in the surroundings, like twigs or leaves, only highlights the unusual nature of this phenomenon. Rather than being influenced by external forces, it appears as though an unknown entity is playfully engaging with the hospital bed. Ghost hunting adventures at Stanley Palace. On a daring quest to explore the mysterious secrets of Stanley Palace in Chester, England, two fearless ghost hunters embarked on a chilling journey. This 16th century mansion, built on an old priory site, holds a dark and haunted past, with reports of paranormal activity spanning from ghostly apparitions to mysterious sounds of children. As they navigated the haunted halls, they unknowingly became part of a bone-chilling encounter. Later, upon reviewing the recorded footage, they were shocked to discover a startling revelation. A ghostly face peering over the balustrade, observing them from above. The presence of this ethereal visage only deepens the enigma surrounding Stanley Palace and raises questions about its haunted history. Unexplained sighting. Get ready for some spooky encounters. In this video, people captured some strange moments on their trail cameras. An older couple set up a trail cam to see wildlife, but instead, they caught a ghostly girl in a white robe with hollow eyes, rumored to be connected to a cursed land. This predator was caught stalking a home on a motion-activated trail camera. These sightings leave us with chills and questions, like what could be lurking in the shadows and the unknowns of the wilderness. Mysterious creature caught in park. In this video from the Netherlands, a guy was walking in a park when he heard strange banging sounds. Shortly after, he spotted a peculiar creature hiding behind a tree. The creature was black with a tiny head and body, but it was hard to make out any specific features. The video only captured a brief glimpse of the mysterious being, leaving viewers to wonder what it could be. Many theories have surfaced, but with limited visibility. It's challenging to identify the creature accurately. Watch the video and share your thoughts on this enigmatic encounter in the comment section below. Surprising night discovery. In this video, a guy is wandering in the woods at night, seemingly searching for something. Suddenly, he comes across a bizarre creature that he never expected to see. The creature is incredibly tiny, with a strange shape and glowing eyes in the dark. It somewhat resembles a frog-like cryptid that was seen in a previous video. The way it emerges from a hollow tree trunk is a bit creepy, but upon closer inspection, some might find it surprisingly cute. Watch the footage to see this unexpected encounter with a peculiar and intriguing little creature in the woods. Mystical encounters in the forest. In this footage, a man steps forward with a fascinating claim. He possesses magical powers, enabling him to communicate with spooky creatures residing in the forest. With years of knowledge and experience, he's gained a deep understanding of the animals and their wildlife habitats, allowing him to connect with these elusive beings that hide from humans. With evidence to support his remarkable assertions, the man shares a video of a tiny creature emerging from a rock, leaving viewers spellbound. As we watch and wonder, questions arise. What kind of creature is this? And are they harmful? Thank you for watching our video today. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We'd love to hear which instance from our list excited you the most. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you had fun, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel.
Bigfoot in swamp. Scientists argue that there's no evidence Bigfoot exists, and many consider it a myth. But a young boy named McCamey has claimed to watch a huge hairy beast that, according to him, was a real Bigfoot. While canoeing in Tampa in January 2005, he managed to capture a massive black creature in the nearby swamp that initially appeared as a huge black bear. But the way it moved through the woods with its long swinging arms didn't match a bear's traits. So the guy was convinced to name the creature a Bigfoot, which was sighted while strolling fearlessly through a gator-infested swamp. Scary encounter. It's not always the unearthly creatures that scare people, but sometimes ordinary creatures can do this for us too. just like this.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
While filming his cycling skills after setting a camera nearby, this 15-year-old boy has no idea about the upcoming danger, as after passing through the camera, he could be seen coming back. Yet this time, he was quite terrified as to avoid something really scary. And then appeared a monster-sized black bear, making its way right toward the boy. However, he worked smartly and started shouting and used his bicycle to look bigger to scare the beast. Luckily, his trick worked, as the bear could be seen running away. Black bear's attack. It is extremely rare to capture a predation event of any kind within the small frame of a trap camera, but this wildlife trap recorded the predation of a wild piglet by a young female black bear as she attacked a pack of pigs wallowing in an upland spring. After getting inside the deadly mouth of the bear, the tiny piglet could be heard screaming painfully. The ear-piercing call alerted its mother, who returned to wrench her offspring from the jaws of death. It is unclear whether she was successful in this rescue attempt or not, as in the end, all the animals disappeared from the camera's view. Lion invasion. With so much weird and disturbing wild content on the internet, this would definitely be the scariest one, as it shows a couple of terrified campers who stepped out of their tent and on their way back found a curious lion moving in and out of their only shelter in the wild. While taking refuge inside their car, they managed to film the ferocious predator stealing their stuff and taking it to the jungle. After a few hours of prison, they came out of their car to collect their items that had been scattered all around the golden bushes. Respect the bisons. Bison, also known as buffalo, are one of the most powerful land animals in North America. They can weigh over 2,000 pounds and have been known to charge at speeds up to 35 miles per hour. In video number 24 on our list, a man gets out of his car at Yellowstone National Park to mock a bison. The bison, feeling threatened, charges at the man and throws him several feet into the air. The man luckily escaped any serious injuries, but this is a caution that humans should never underestimate the power of wild animals. This is just one of 30 times humans messed with the wrong predator on our list. Hyena attacks an old man. We have this shocking clip where an unsuspecting elderly man is attacked by a hyena that suddenly appears from the grass. Another man tries to help and uses a stick to fend off the relentless predator. Hyenas are very powerful and dangerous animals that humans should stay away from. As humans continue to encroach upon animal habitats, these kinds of attacks are becoming more common. It's an indicator that we must respect the power and unpredictability of these predators and take precautions to ensure our safety when we venture into their territories. Whenever humans have underestimated the animals they come in contact with, they had to pay the price for it. Leopard attacks a school. A leopard came back to graduate high school in India, but the officials wanted him out. In southern India, a leopard left a school in chaos and it attacked and injured 4 men. The predator was later caught, but it's a reminder of how dangerous these creatures can be when humans and animals cross paths. Leopards are known to be stealthy hunters, using their sharp claws and teeth to take down prey. When confronted or threatened, they can become aggressive and attack with deadly force. Minnesota wolf. In Minnesota, a teenage boy was sleeping outside his tent when a wolf attacked him. The wolf sunk its teeth into the boy's head, but he refused to go down without a fight. With his bare hands, the boy managed to grab the wolf's jaw and pull it from his head, miraculously saving himself. This incredible story shows just how dangerous and deadly wolves can be. Scientists say a wolf might attack a human for no reason. The boy was brave and very lucky to fight that wolf off. Scorpion stings wildlife explorer. In this next clip on our list, a wildlife explorer is feeling pretty confident around scorpions, but little does he know that he's about to have a painful encounter. As he's holding a scorpion in his hand, it suddenly stings him, and he recoils in pain. Scorpion bites can be incredibly dangerous and painful, and this video explains just how quickly things can go wrong when we underestimate the power of predators. This man may have thought he was in control, but he quickly found out that sometimes the predators have the upper hand. Kangaroo wants a boxing match. Would you ever expect a kangaroo to attack a man on his front lawn? Yes, this can only happen in Australia. In this jaw-dropping clip, a kangaroo attacks a man on his front lawn. The man valiantly fights off the powerful animal for a full 6 minutes. It's a nerve-wracking battle as the kangaroo uses its hind legs to try and disembowel the man. One wrong move could have spelled disaster, but the man stands his ground and emerges victorious. It's a shocking sight of just how risky it can be when humans come face to face with predators. Was the man brave, strong, or stupid? We'll leave it up to you to decide. The man miraculously sustained no injuries. The cutest predator. You wouldn't believe that this predator made it into today's video. Cute, sweet, loving, and snuggly. These are the words that come to mind when we hear the word panda. However, the cute and fluffy animals are just as dangerous. A man trying to take a photo with a panda leaning against the railing thought the same about pandas. Up to his surprise, the panda took this as an offense and grabbed the man from behind and ripped his jacket. The man was lucky that there was a railing between him and the animal. Girl with deer. This is definitely one of the creepiest things we've seen in a while. According to reports, a guy who was out hunting outside Big Spring, Texas, around Sterling City, took a picture at around 3 a.m. with his gaming camera. Now, you may initially think that this is just a typical photo of some wildlife and nothing more. But unfortunately, it's not. Something that is considerably more terrifying has come to light. You'll have shivers down your spine as soon as you spot the little girl wandering around by herself, and the deer looking at her suspiciously. But here's the thing, the girl seems to be a ghost. Now this is definitely a bizarre and chilling sight that's hard to explain. What's interesting about this footage is that it doesn't look like any kind of camera trick. It appears to be a genuine and unexplained sighting of a ghostly figure in the woods. The exposure of the picture was changed to get a more clear view of what the thing was, which led to noticing 2 ball tassels. Now, the girl was either considered to be a Native American Indian child or a pilgrim child. Notice the similarity. However, when the image circulated, people had their own assumptions coming up as well. Some have suggested that the little girl could be the ghost of someone who died in the area, while others believe it's a completely unexplainable phenomenon. Whatever the case may be, this footage is definitely not something you want to watch alone in the dark. It's a reminder that there are still mysteries out there that we can't explain. And sometimes, the things we can't see are the most frightening of all. The rake. Records of an American cryptid called to be the rake go back to the 1600s, when a seaman reportedly crossed the Atlantic again to get away from the monster. I mean, we really can't blame him if this picture resembles what he saw. However, according to reports, a trail camera located in a wrecked hunting camp captured this specific image. Despite the possibility that this is accurate and that the creature is to blame for the damage, suspicion can be raised given the picture's hazy history. Is this the legendary rake, or is it just a spooky edit? Now, for those of you who don't know, the rake is a humanoid creature with long, sharp claws and pale skin. It's been spotted in various parts of the world and has been the subject of countless paranormal investigations. The creature is said to have a hunched posture and stands at around 6 feet tall. Its skin is pale and almost translucent, and it has elongated limbs with sharp claws that can inflict serious harm. It's a creature that strikes fear into the hearts of those who encounter it. It's almost like a twisted version of a human being. Its sharp claws and eerie posture are just a cherry on top, making this truly a terrifying sight to behold. In this footage, we can see the rake lurking in the shadows of a destroyed hunting camp. But look at its eyes gleaming in the darkness, and it appears to be observing the camera with a cold, calculating gaze. A local resident stated the following: "I've heard stories about the rake for years, but I never thought I'd actually see it on camera. It's a creature that strikes fear into the hearts of even the bravest hunters." It's unclear what the rake was doing in the destroyed hunting camp, but one thing is for sure: it's not a creature you want to come face to face with. The Jersey Devil. Now we've got a cryptid from my own backyard of New Jersey, the Jersey Devil, also known as the Leeds Devil. This creature has been the stuff of legend and nightmares for centuries, with sightings and encounters reported throughout the state of New Jersey. I've already got chills down my bones talking about this. Well, according to the legend, the creature was born as the 13th child of Mother Leeds, a woman who lived in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey during the early 18th century. As the story goes, Leeds cursed her 13th child, which led to its transformation into the creature we know today. The Jersey Devil is one of the most enduring cryptids in American folklore. Its legend has been passed down through generations of New Jersey residents, and there have been countless sightings and encounters over the years. The Jersey Devil is a kangaroo-like monster with a dog's head, a horse's face, wings that resemble bats, horns, and a tail. Nobody is aware of its height, but some believe it to be only 3 or 4 feet tall, while others believe it to be 6 feet tall. The devil creates loud, shrieking, blood-curdling screams that have been described as otherworldly. It even has bright red eyes. People feel frightened after seeing it because of how horrifying it is. This strange beast is claimed to have roamed the southern New Jersey wetlands for more than 250 years before periodically emerging to terrorize the towns and cities. Well, despite countless sightings and encounters over the years, there's still no concrete proof that the creature exists. But for those who've had a run-in with the Leeds Devil, there's no doubt in their minds that something sinister is lurking in the Pine Barrens. Hyena steals prey. Leopards are famous for carrying prey way heavier than their own weight, and are often seen dragging their recent kill up onto trees, doing this to avoid any chances of their meal scavenged by other wild animals. But this technique does not seem to work with the hyenas, as spotting the limbs of the dead deer hanging from the fork of the tree and jumping higher to catch it, the hyena was struggling hard to get a hold of the prey. That would be enough to feed its hungry cubs. And then, finally, after several attempts, the hyena was able to drag it down on the ground while the leopard stood frozen on top. Caved creature. Upon hearing many rumors of an unknown monster living inside one of the caves in the jungle, this team of explorers decided to go and look for it. And then, setting up the camera at the entrance of the cave, as the group went inside, they saw this terrifying-looking creature coming from inside. Rushing towards the men, it came to attack them, but luckily spotting it on time, the group made it out alive, but could never know what that caved creature was. So, is it true that there are animals out there which are yet to be explored, or do you have a better explanation? While we like to assume that such creatures are hiding somewhere in the deep, dark forests and will probably never come out of their habitation, caught on trail cameras several times, they often reveal their faces. And this time in Idaho, a trail camera captured a skinwalker coming out of the woods. It had a gray, hairless body with glowing eyes. Crouching on the forest ground, the mythical creature had its mouth wide open, as if it was going to attack the camera. And even here, even though half of its features could be seen, they were enough to determine that it was again a skinwalker caught in front of a house. Or was it coming from inside of the house after a brutal attack? What do you guys say? Ghost on tree. Glowing eyes, blurred figure. This ghostly figure, captured in Brazil, got the spectators on edge. Humanoid figure sitting on top of the tree. It seems to be a bit confused as the people point towards it, but looking like an alien. The fact that it was scared of the people as much as they were of it makes it all a bit more suspicious. Because the people are speaking a foreign language, it's hard to make out what they're actually trying to do. It's clear, though, that they're terrified of its odd looks as they're trying to somehow capture it, but then disappearing suddenly into thin air. It left the people stunned as they could not really find out what it was. Tired moose. First the deer, and now a moose? These animals have got some kind of custom of getting stuck in the most unexpected places. This time, it got stuck in a tire swing. When spotted by a man as it came out of the house at daytime, he was shocked as the moose was badly trapped in it. And then, at first trying to rescue it using a long stick, but terrified already, the moose was not much of a help. So the man had to climb the tree and attempt to save it by sitting on the top. Though this was not easy either. It worked at last. See the moose going back freely. And here, another moose was spotted crossing the road, trapped in a mesh tree swing.
Spooky clown sighting. Get ready for a spooky tale. A hunter in Pennsylvania decided to set up a trail camera deep in the woods behind his house to capture some normal wildlife scenes. But when he checked the footage, he got the shock of his life. A terrifying man in a clown costume emerged from the dark forest in the middle of the night. Remember the creepy killer clown sightings from 2016? Well, it seems like this bizarre figure could be one of them. The viral video brings back memories of those eerie times. Let's hope killer clowns aren't making a comeback. Better keep an eye out if you're venturing into the woods at night, just in case. Siren head in the cemetery. Alright, let's break this down. This guy was out filming nature, enjoying the peaceful scenery, but suddenly he heard some strange and loud noises. It wasn't Godzilla, don't worry, but something else caught his attention. In the distance, he spotted a tall, lanky figure with a weird head and hat, which some people believe is the urban legend known as Siren Head. This creature has become quite popular in recent years, known for its eerie appearance and spooky stories. The video shows it's crawling around in a cemetery, adding to the creepy vibes. So, is it a ghost sighting or just a sighting of the infamous Siren Head? Well, you be the judge. Leviathan caught on trail camera. Prepare to be amazed by this startling incident captured by a trail camera. The footage reveals a truly astonishing sight. A girl seemingly suspended in midair, while a woman in an orange bomber jacket watches in awe. The girl's ethereal appearance gives rise to intriguing speculations. Some believe that a spirit may have taken control, causing her to levitate, leading to thoughts of possession. The video quickly spread, captivating the curiosity of many. As we look into the realm of the unknown, it's essential to keep an open mind and consider all the possibilities. Perhaps there's a natural explanation yet to be uncovered. Or maybe there's more to the story than meets the eye. A creature on the Appalachian Trail. An adventurous nature enthusiast ventures on a hike along the scenic Appalachian Trail, nestled in the beautiful Appalachian mountain region of North America. During the lush wilderness and diverse wildlife, an unexpected encounter leaves him bewildered. His eyes lock on a strange animal observing him from a distance. As he ventures closer, he's taken back by its appearance, an uncanny blend of a seal and a bird. The creature's beaks resemble those of a woodpecker, and its eyes hollow and black. Add to the intrigue. Eager to share the mysterious discovery, the video's uploaded onto the internet, sparking curiosity far and wide. Yet, the puzzle remains unsolved.
Tripod deer. So, this is what happens when a deer comes face to face with a mountain lion. The high jumps, the fast speed. Nothing, literally nothing works on the deer's side when it's attacked by a cougar. Here, when standing in front of the trail camera, the deer was spooked by the predator. But it was too late, as the cougar quickly got his mighty jaws clamped on the deer's neck. and it was game over for the poor deer. And here, a deer was caught with one of his legs missing. So it means that even if it does manage to get rid of a lurking predator, this is the price he has to pay for the escape. This picture was caught in Webster County, Virginia in the year 2021 and has been frightening people ever since then as they try to figure out what it really was. Where some people believe it to be the alleged Bigfoot that was caught on trail cam, there are others who propose another theory, as they say that it's not a Bigfoot, but this time the camera caught the legendary Goat Man lurking in the forest. So, trying to find the truth to this mystery, a group of researchers decided to visit the woods. And surprisingly, on their way, they spotted a massive animal more than 3 meters tall. It was of dark black color and was sitting beside a rock. And even though they captured it, it appeared only for a split second on the camera. It was enough to convince the people of the predator's existence. Lion inside tent. These people were given the shock of their lives when a lion came to visit their tent. Hearing growls of the mighty animal coming from a distance and immediately coming out, they spotted the lion heading towards their tent. So, acting quickly, the group went inside one of the jeeps and saw the lion getting inside the tent house, going through their bags and the rest of the luggage and spending some time inside the tent. It came out and luckily did not attack the guys, and instead went back into the jungle. Bear versus bear. No carcass laying around and no other visible reason to fight. Then what are these bears fighting over? A man, after setting up his trail camera, was about to leave when 2 bears came his way. Thinking that he was under attack and quickly hiding behind a tree, he was surprised when not him, but the bears were wrestling with each other. And the black bear can be seen struggling to fight off the light bear, but it's failing. And at last, after fighting for some minutes, they both just give up and walk away.
Fox Battle Royal. In a strange twist of fate, a trail cam captured an epic battle of foxes fighting for dominance. It started with peaceful fox frolics, but as the second fox jumped in, the showdown began. The fight raged on for minutes, leaving us hanging, not knowing who claimed victory. The forest's ultimate mystery. The intensity of this encounter made it seem like an otherworldly gladiator match. The ferocity with which the foxes clashed for dominance left us in awe of nature's raw power. A haunting forest sighting. Lost in the depths of a New Zealand forest, a traveler had captured an eerie zombie-like cry that echoed through the night. Drawn to the source of the sound, he encountered an otherworldly being unlike anything he'd seen before. Fear and adrenaline had taken over, and he had fled, capturing only a fleeting image of this enigmatic creature. The heart of darkness had enveloped the traveler as he sought to uncover the truth behind this hair-raising encounter, leaving him haunted by the experience. Turkey Fight Club. A seemingly innocent forest scene turned into a turkey battle royal. Turkeys out of nowhere started attacking each other. Why? No one could tell. The trail cam owner thought it was the coolest thing he'd ever caught on tape. These turkeys proved that they were no ordinary birds, but fierce gladiators of the wild. The sight of these seemingly harmless birds going into a frenzy of feathers and beaks left everyone amused and perplexed. Ghostly reflection. Within the confines of her home, a woman faced an eerie and inexplicable reflection. The ghostly figure with dark hair seemed to cast a haunting gaze over her shoulder. However, her unflinching composure hinted at a demeanor unshaken by the encounter. As the video zoomed in, the chilling image deepened with intrigue surrounding the paranormal visitation. Was it an elaborate hoax, or did she possess nerves of steel, unyielding to the supernatural realm? The Cry of Bigfoot. In the heart of Texas forest, a police officer's rest stop took an eerie turn as an otherworldly bellow echoed through the woods. The sheer volume and haunting quality of the cry left the officer wondering if it could be the elusive Bigfoot. With headphones on, the chilling sound seemed almost beyond reality.
Starting to regret that I stopped at this rest.
A later encounter captured Bigfoot's face, resembling human features, but with an unsettling size and peculiar gap between its eyes. Was this truly the legendary creature, the elusive and mysterious calling out from the depths of the wilderness? Alien encounter. In the wilds of Texas, a farmer had set a trap to catch a mysterious animal terrorizing his chickens. The unexpected encounter had left the farmer with no choice but to shoot, leading to a shocking discovery. The revelations of the encounter had peeled back the layers of the puzzling event, revealing an unearthly revelation that had astonished and puzzled everyone who feared the farmer's account. The incident had left an indelible mark on the farmer, forever changing his perspective on the world around him.
Filled with horrifying encounters, the trail captures never disappoint people. Sometimes revealing the frightening cryptids living in the woods, and other times exposing the creepy features of wild animals, which might scare some of us, but will leave the rest scratching their heads with confusion. Strange figure. In the dark, dense forest, setting up a camera and thinking that it might capture different animals, this man was shocked to see what his camera had captured for him, as it was a bright, humanoid figure. Though standing at a little distance, it was making his creepy features visible, standing still as if in a trance. But is it just me, or you guys can see it too, that the creature at some point kind of resembled the mythical creature Hippocentaur that is believed to have the upper body of a human and the lower half of a horse, which represents barbarism and unbridled chaos? If not, then let me know what you think of this creepy figure. Crouching Bigfoot. Trying to find a perfect camping spot, this man came across the previous one of Bigfoot. Well, that's what he assumed, because who else would place the trees in such a disruptive manner? Some of them were strangely cut down and torn apart from their roots. Already doubting the mysterious jungle, the man decided to leave his camera there and see what happened. Luckily, he did capture the culprit behind it. Appearing just for some seconds, the wood beast made quite an entry. And not just once, as the trail camera also captured the mighty creature strangely crouching after midnight. Leopard backflips. Living in the wild is hard, but it's even harder if you've got an apex predator coming to catch you. See how this monkey is trying to ditch the leopard, jumping over the tree from one side to the other. Doesn't know how it ends as the video cuts there, but I really hope that the monkey was able to escape his preceding death. But one thing is for sure, that it does not always end with the monkey winning over the leopards, as sometimes it can do a backflip and will come with the catch in his claws. And here, look how it takes a massive leap to catch that poor monkey. Skinwalker's hands on tree. Exploring the woods with friends with no idea of the one waiting for him in the woods, this guy decided to go there at night. Returning safely, it was when they looked at the pictures, one of them noticed the eerie hand on the tree. And not just the hands, but an eerie face slightly sneaking from the tree, as if planning to attack the guys. Though the face is a bit blurry, it resembles the traditional skinwalker a lot, famous for disguising themselves to haunt and sometimes even hunt people. Bigfoot or bear? Spotting it from a little distance, these people thought that they had caught a bear coming out of the woods, when they realized that not a bear nor a wild animal, but it was what they were least expecting, a Bigfoot, as it started walking on its forelegs. And not just walking, but the Bigfoot was actually running towards them, quickly coming out of the forest. Though they were able to save themselves, being captured only for a few seconds makes it a little hard to believe in the critter's existence. So, let me know your views. Mysterious eyes. Not ready to expose himself, the cryptid decided to reveal only some parts of him and leave the rest for us to make up. Do they really know how cameras work, or perhaps this is just another coincidence? Well, here, coming near a camera from the side, though only the eyes and some part of his nose could be caught, they were not enough to predict its kind, which was no doubt a Sasquatch. Well, because no bear would shave his hair like this, and the eyes give just the eeriest vibes. And here, the camera caught only the feet of some animal. Well, it's not sure to me if it was a Bigfoot, as the feet look quite a lot like a wolf's. So let me know what you think of this picture, especially the feet. Hiding predator. Catching a deer off guard and still not attacking it? Is that really a predator lurking in the dark? Setting up his trail camera, this man did not have any idea that it would capture a failed ambush attack. At first, a deer appeared right in front of the camera and sat there to relax. Dozing there for some time, just when it changes its position and goes a little out of the camera's sight, two illuminated eyes appear behind him and started moving on the side. Realizing that he had been watched, even though sleeping, he quickly stood up and scared the predator.
A mystery light. This video was filmed by a guy from Mexico. Some people who have watched it are saying it's one of the most clear sightings of a UFO ever caught on camera. Against a totally dark sky, you can see a weird blue circle that looks like it's morphing into different shapes. Apparently, this man had this strange thing hovering over his house for about a half an hour before it vanished. What do you think it might be? A waterbender. Have you seen this video that's been going viral lately? It's really interesting. Nobody knows where it's from, but it seems to have been filmed in Africa. In the video, a group of people are gathered around a woman standing in the water, and it looks like some sort of ritual is taking place. But then something crazy happens. All of a sudden, the water recedes super fast, and the bay is completely dry where others are standing. People freaked out and said that the shaman caused the water to shift using some kind of divine power. But nothing was ever explained by anyone. A witch. A bizarre figure dressed in white was spotted standing directly under the window of a house where the mother and her baby had been only moments before. It appeared as though the figure knew where the family was located. The incident left the woman feeling shaken and terrified, with no logical explanation for what had just happened. Some say it was a witch, while others think it was something else. Still, it remains a mystery. A levitating creature. Whether it was an extraterrestrial being or simply an optical illusion, this video is fascinating to watch. A large group of individuals gathered to witness this bizarre creature, which appeared to be levitating in midair while wearing wings on its arms and feet. Although it resembled a mermaid or an alien, it actually looked more like a boy. However, the reality behind the levitation was not as mysterious as it seemed. In fact, it was just a simple trick involving thin strings that helped the individual hover in the air. A UFO. A pilot was on his usual routine, flying a plane from one city to another. But what he did not know was that he was about to come across a sight he had ever imagined, a UFO. Now, for those of you thinking it was just a balloon, those don't fly forwards, they go upwards. And also, balloons do not have this kind of speed. So, nope, that wasn't a balloon. To me, it totally looks like a UFO. Bigfoot. In this video, Rick Dyer, a self-proclaimed Bigfoot tracker, claimed to have killed the elusive creature. The video shows a tense moment where the massive beast attacks the man holding the camera. Afterwards, Dyer provides a few pictures, claiming they're of the Bigfoot he killed. So, do you think it was really a Bigfoot that he killed, or was he just lying straight away?
Mysterious creature. In another terrifying encounter, a lone hiker walked the moonlit woods, guided only by the faint rays of silver light. Yet, as he ventured deeper into the shadows, he came face to face with a nightmare come to life. A demon-like creature, a sight straight from the pages of ancient lore or fantastical Pokemon, stood motionless before him, in its sinister gaze sending chills down his spine. The hiker's breath hitched in his throat as he felt the weight of the unknown pressing upon him. Naked Man. A hunter's tranquil day had taken a bewildering turn when he heard cries for help from the nearby woods. To his astonishment, he discovered a completely naked man by the creek, armed only with a walking cane, claimed to be robbed, beaten, and abandoned. The man's tale had been both bizarre and unsettling. The mysteries of this naked man's plight had unraveled slowly as the hunter ventured deeper into the wilderness of the unknown, seeking answers to the strange encounter. Creepy night visitor. In a spooky nighttime trail cam recording, a mysterious, foggy creature was spotted, slinking through the trees. Was it a car? Perhaps a forest ghost? Nobody knew for sure. This eerie encounter raised more questions than answers, lingering in the minds of those who watched the unsettling footage. The ethereal figure moving through the dark, shrouded in mist. The crawling figure. In the dead of night, a trail cam filmed an eerie human-like figure crawling strangely on the ground. Some whispered it was a skinwalker, while others brushed it off as a prank. The truth, forever a mystery. This unnerving sight kept people awake at night, wondering what lurked in the darkness. The sight of a strange figure creeping through the woods ignited chilling tales and urban legends among the locals, turning the area into a hotbed of spine-tingling stories. Skeleton with glowing eyes. Beyond the trees and wild animals, forests harbor dangerous mythical creatures. In Casanino National Forest, Arizona, a group of hikers encountered a troubling sight. A man with a shaved head and a skinny body, resembling a Halloween skeleton. As they focused a light on him, his eyes began to glow, sending chills down their spines. Human eyes don't glow, revealing this to be no human but a ghostly apparition. The glowing-eyed skeleton haunted their memories, leaving them to wonder about the mysterious forces lurking in the dark woods. Glowing-eyed mummy chase. In September of 2019, two colleagues had a chilling encounter while driving home. A figure with glowing eyes began sprinting beside their car, only to reveal itself as a mummy-like creature with supernatural speed. It attempted to jump into their vehicle, but they managed to escape. This was no hoax. It was a genuine glowing-eyed mummy chase. The spooky signal left them questioning whether they had witnessed an ancient curse coming to life. The walking umbrella. One misty evening, the backyard transforms into an otherworldly stage as an ordinary umbrella comes to life. Strangely, it seems to walk on its own, giving an eerie impression of ghostly intervention. As the camera pans out, a mysterious figure emerges, seemingly controlling the umbrella's unsettling dance. But who is this enigmatic person, and what lies behind this bizarre spectacle? Pepper spray incident. In the midst of a thrilling hiking adventure, two friends had faced a perilous encounter with an aggressive Yeti. This formidable creature had inspected their belongings, but an accidental pepper spray attack had left it in a panic. A close encounter with the Yeti was no laughing matter, but luckily they had escaped unharmed. The tale of cryptid confrontations and mysterious wild beings lurking in the shadows had kept them on edge, even after the adrenaline had subsided.
Deer approaches hunter. Either this deer has seen something he was not prepared for, or there's some massive animal coming to attack him. While hunting in the Kruger National Park, this hunter was aiming at wild deer, but was surprised to see this strange behavior, because just when he pulled down the weapon, the deer came running at him. Standing beside him, even when the man pets the terrified deer, it keeps looking back, as if there was a deadly creature waiting for her there. And even when the video reached the examiners, they revealed the deers exhibit such behavior when they're either terrified or are actually seeking help. Deer Demon. Well, it feels to me that the deer and the demon have a past connection. If not, then how would you explain these creepy incidents? This picture shows a deer standing and facing the camera, but there's some other thing looking at the camera, or might be at the deer too. A shadowy figure, which appears to have no arms and no figure as well. And due to this, there could be a chance of the figure being a hoax or a reflection from the lake that is distorted by the trail camera's poor quality. While the previous one could be a hoax, this one is quite convincing, as it does not show any man-made costume figure, but just a bright light that might have fox ears, and it's standing right over the camera. Hanged animals. A coyote and a raccoon were found on a tree in the most unexpected way. We all know that these two share the relation of prey and predator, but caught in the West Virginian forest, this picture shows a different prospect, as a raccoon could be seen pinned down to the tree. And while we come a little down, there's a coyote with his head hanging down from the tree and one of the forepaws badly trapped in the crook of the tree. It is no doubt one of the most heartbreaking moments of nature. But clearly, no meal is free in the world, and sometimes these animals have to pay the price with their lives. Eagle picks osprey. Setting up a camera over the osprey's nest to see the hatchlings take their first flight, the camera caught the opposite. A little depressing, I suppose, but that's just how wildlife works. Two baby ospreys could be seen sitting on their nest until a bald eagle swoops right into the nest, grabs both the hatchlings under its mighty claws, and off she goes. And not just once, but the eagle was captured many times attacking the osprey's nest. See here, just when the mother leaves the nest, probably going to look for a meal, the bald eagle comes taking advantage, flies towards the poor osprey sitting on the edge, and then, well, there's no need to tell you what happens after that. Terrifying howl. Here we have another nightmarish clip that literally looks straight out of a horror movie. A trail cam installed somewhere in the Canadian wilderness recorded a wild beast yowling while standing right in front of the camera. The wolves usually howl at night as a social rally call to hunt, or as a territorial expression. But this was for the first time a horrific howl of a wolf filmed on a trail cam. There's nothing much we could say about this video, as the only thing needed is a strong heart to cope with the terrifying call of this wolf. Large gator. A prehistoric predator that literally looks from a different era lit up the internet while it was filmed crossing a trail in a country park in Florida. A video posted in January 2017 shows a 15-foot-long massive alligator sauntering from one marsh to another right in front of the terrified onlookers, who could be seen recording the most unbelievable sight of their lives. According to locals, this monstrous-sized reptile had been residing in that place for decades and has been dubbed Godzilla due to its monster size. Lion attacked camera. They say curiosity kills the cat, but here, this curious big cat is aiming to kill a beetle cam, which it found interesting, and hence proceeded to investigate. A video posted 3 years back in October was filmed by a remote-controlled buggy somewhere in the jungle of Africa and shows a lioness and its cubs. But unfortunately, it quickly grabbed the attention of the cunning feline, who attempted to swallow the cam as it may have mistaken it for some kind of prey. Even several attempts were made by the operator to make a way out for the camera. He couldn't manage to save it from the powerful claws as the camera's battery ran low, and the video ended with a misty fog of the predator's breath on the lens. This terrifying footage was posted in September 2017 and shows a bipedal creature strolling right in front of a trail cam. Some suggest it was a huge black bear, because if you take a closer look, its claws could be seen clearly. But due to its mammoth size and dark, thick, hairy humanoid features, it was suspected to be a legendary Bigfoot. But here, suggestions from you guys matter a lot, so tell us by commenting below what you think of it. A Bigfoot or just a huge black bear?
Mysterious highway encounter. Imagine cruising along a busy highway, minding your own business, when something bizarre unfolds before your eyes. A driver's camera captures an unexpected scene that leaves them utterly bewildered. As they round a curve, a van approaches from the opposite direction. Watch closely as a man suddenly materializes on the road, seemingly falling from an unknown location. The vehicle's doors never open, ruling out the possibility of him falling from it. Speculations run wild. Did a portal appear, transporting him onto the road? Or does he possess extraordinary powers? Without knowing the man's identity or the full story, we're left pondering the unexplainable. A weird encounter in Washington, D.C. This curious incident in Washington, D.C. on December 19, 2018 has left many pondering the possibility of an extraterrestrial encounter. The footage starts with various clips showing the evening sky around the city. What caught everyone's attention was a peculiar triangle-shaped object hovering over the Pentagon. Although some angles made it hard to see, the enigmatic presence was undeniable. Mysterious glitch in reality. In this bizarre footage shared on social media, a man innocently walks down a flight of steps, completely unaware of the spine-chilling event about to unfold. As he steps onto the pavement, something truly eerie happens. Out of nowhere, he trips over a woman's motionless body lying on the ground. The video replays twice, once in slow motion and then with a close-up of the mysterious still figure. People often refer to such inexplicable events as a glitch in the matrix, where reality seems to warp momentarily beyond explanation. The woman's sudden appearance and her eerily lifeless state have left viewers puzzled. So, what do you think? Watch the video and let us know your thoughts on this perplexing and haunting mystery. A terrifying encounter. In the darkness of the woods, two brave souls ventured out, seeking thrills under the moon's watchful gaze. Unaware of the malevolent presence lurking in the shadows, they ignited their fireworks, believing they were alone and undisturbed. Suddenly, amid the night's stillness, blood-curdling shrieks pierced the air, sending chills down their spines. Fear gripped their hearts as they were compelled to investigate the source of the horrifying sounds.
Is it still there? Go! No! Run! Run!
What they encountered defied all reason and chilled them to the core. A mysterious, otherworldly being emerged before their terrified eyes, its presence shrouded in darkness. In a heartbeat, their carefree adventure turned into a nightmarish encounter with the unknown.
A scary creature. This video was captured by a brave soul who thought it would be a really great idea to go out alone into the deep woods at night. He thought he'd end up meeting some unusual beings and, well, guess what? He got exactly what he was expecting. A creepy little cryptid staring right at him from behind the tree. Was it just waiting for the right moment to attack, or was it too scared to come out? The mystery has been unsolved since forever. Creepy trees. Considering the last clip, if you think the woods are only creepy and unsafe at night, let us tell you how wrong you are. And this video will prove it to you. These trees were recorded moving. Like literally moving from one place to another. Was it the neighborhood that annoyed them, or they felt unsafe due to humans? We could never know since trees don't talk. A cryptid. Now this one might be just an image taken by a trail cam and not a whole video, but this single image is enough for us to get an idea about how eerie and unbelievable life in the woods can be. Was it an alien or just an animal from an unusual angle? We can't say for sure, but you let us know if you have any ideas. Cross River Gorillas. If you think it's just another usual trail cam video which shows gorillas sitting here and there and busy with their normal routine, that's not the case. These aren't just any gorillas. These are the Cross River gorillas, and sadly they're endangered with only 200 individuals left to survive. In fact, these are the rarest gorillas on the whole planet. And this trail cam happened to capture these majestic creatures living their lives in Cameroon. Bigfoot. You must be thinking it's too dark and too blurry to actually determine that's a Bigfoot going about in the woods, but the size of the creature and what we can make out from the darkness, I don't see any chance of it being some other animal other than Bigfoot. I mean, we can see it walking on 2 feet and it being all dark and hairy, and its size as compared to the trees is pretty huge. Ask me and I'd say it's a Bigfoot for sure. A Mongolian death worm. This man had heard that mysterious creatures lurk in the desert, especially at night. So he did what anyone would do, set up a camera and waited for the night to pass so he could go check if it captured anything unusual. And to his surprise, it actually did. What was it? A death worm? An alien? A monster? We'll give you a moment to take a guess. But when he inspected it all, it turned out it was just a buffalo. But scary nonetheless. Don't worry, man, we were just as confused as you were. A wolf man. In June 2022, a man's security camera happened to click a photo which had the whole world in shock. Even the mainstream media couldn't help but feature it. They called it the Wolf Man. Nobody had any idea if that was someone playing a prank or was it really a wolf man? Sasquatch. At first, the residents of the area thought it was just a coyote responsible for the missing animals and spreading fear everywhere, so they set up cameras everywhere in hopes of catching the animal in the act. However, what the camera ended up recording was something that blew their minds. A huge creature was seen lurking in the woods. And what else could it be except for the famous Sasquatch, right? It was never caught, but was never seen ever again either. Maybe it's since that humans have come about it. A gliding creature. What do we call a person gliding through the streets? Not walking like normal human beings, but moving in some otherworldly form? We call it a ghost, and a ghost is what this CCTV camera ended up recording. Now, don't ask me whose ghost it was, because I don't know about that, but it does seem like in a hurry. Maybe he was going on his daily haunting duty. What do you say? A mysterious figure. A crooked, glowing creature moving in the weirdest way possible in the street. If I ever see something like that, I'm going to leave the country for good. I don't know how these people get the courage to actually stand there and record such stuff. And, well, as soon as this video hit the internet, it had everyone in shock. Questions arising from everywhere about the authenticity of the clip and the identity of the creature, but the questions had been unanswered ever since. A sneaky killer. How fast is a mountain lion, and how sneaky is it? If you find yourself wondering such questions, then we're here to give you answers. As this mountain lion sneaked up on the deer, and the deer was all clamped in its claws in a matter of mere seconds, and good thing this was all captured on a trail cam installed somewhere in California, and if you notice, the leap is right on the neck, fast and on target. Amazing. A terrifying encounter. When one cougar minded its own business, the other one was in a mood of letting the man know how dangerous he can be. So he ran as fast as he could towards the man and stopped just a few inches away. And he did it for 6 minutes straight. Might be the longest 6 minutes of that man's life. And about the man, I would say he did a great job at staying calm and not taking off running as most people would have done, and he never turned away from the cougar. And that's what saved his life. A bear fight. Recently, a trail camera recorded an intense brawl between 2 male bears. It all started when one of the bears let out a bone-chilling snarl, warning the other bear to back off. Things quickly escalated from there, with the bears wrestling and biting each other in a wild frenzy. The fight lasted for a few minutes before they eventually went their separate ways. It was a crazy scene that happened deep in the heart of the woods. A little girl. A creepy trail cam pic caused a stir online because a little girl was seen in the middle of nowhere with no humans around. People wondered how she got there or if she was a ghost, but it turns out she was just with her grandpa and the pic was taken in the woods. No need to be scared, she's a real human. The rake. This picture was captured by a trail camera in the dead of night. We haven't been able to investigate it further, but it appears to be a rake lurking in the darkness of the woods. We're keeping our eyes peeled for any updates, but for now, all we have is this eerie image, and people are saying it's real. A humpback whale. It isn't always the animals or the mysterious beings that lurk in the woods. Sometimes it's humpback whales also, found laying all deep in the woods. And how exactly the whale ended up there, so far away from the ocean? Well, that's been a mystery ever since. UFO. When a man went out to check his trail cam and what it captured this time, he was stunned to see the picture the camera had taken. To some, it appeared like two glowing eyes, and to others, it was a UFO. Since it was just a picture, we can't say if it was fake or just something which looks eerie. A trail cam attack. Crocodiles are super deadly creatures. They don't care about anyone or anything, not even if you're just trying to record them with a camera. They can sneak up on you real slow, and before you know it, you're stuck in their powerful jaws with no escape. Bobcat versus rattlesnake. These fierce felines hunt and chow down on all sorts of critters, but one time one of them got snapped by a camera while running into a rattlesnake on its way somewhere. It made sure to take out the snake before resuming its original plans, but man, it really had to work hard to take down that snake. It used its sharp claws and teeth to crush and bite the snake's head in an epic battle. A mountain lion. At first, the coyote could be seen running away from the camera's range of vision, and shortly after, the mountain lion appeared and chased after the coyote. And after a few seconds, we could hear the coyote screaming for help, indicating that the mountain lion had caught it. That's how fast these deadly lions are. A kangaroo fight. Have you ever seen videos of people fighting that go viral online? It happens quite a bit, right? But it's actually pretty rare to come across videos of kangaroos fighting. Well, I recently saw one on trail camera footage. These two kangaroos were squabbling, and it was pretty interesting to watch. The fight started when they grabbed each other by the neck and tried to knock each other over. But in the end, they both walked away peacefully. Pretty cool, huh? A ghost girl. A home security camera in Texas ended up recording a girl dressed in all white walking through the backyard. When the family saw it, they were all perplexed as the girl was not someone they knew or had ever seen. But then, who was it? A ghost? Or just someone pulling a prank? A creepy being. Humans have a natural curiosity that drives them to investigate anything unusual. But in this particular case, a man took his curiosity to the extreme. He heard strange sounds coming from the woods and decided to explore it late at night to see if he could find anything interesting. To his surprise, he stumbled upon a strange creature behind a tree, making weird whistle-like sounds.
What the hell is that? What the hell?
Realizing the danger, he quickly ran away as fast as he could without looking to see if the creature was following him. It seems his curiosity got the best of him in this scary encounter. Amazonian dog. The Amazon rainforest is a place where you can find unique and unusual creatures. People often put trail cameras there to capture these animals. Recently, a rare Amazonian short-eared dog was spotted on one of these cameras. The species was thought to be almost extinct for a while, and researchers were losing hope of finding any. However, this video gave them new hope. The dog was just sniffing around in the forest like any other day. Teams have been sent to locate the dog so that it can be kept safe in a preserve and live longer. A genet. When these pictures went viral online, they really got people talking. They show a little cat sitting on top of some big animals, which surprised a lot of folks. Nobody could believe how chill the cat was about it. Some people even made jokes about the cat being the boss of all the other animals. But then some experts gave their 2 cents and said that the cat, which is called a genet, was likely using the other animals as a lookout point to find prey. That's pretty clever if you ask me. An alien. There was a guy in Brazil who saw something strange on a rooftop while he was doing his own thing and decided to record it. What he captured was a weird creature that looked like a huge ant hanging out on the roof. Some people thought it was extraterrestrial, but to me it looks like a really big ant. Brazil has all sorts of creepy crawlies, so who knows what else is out there, right? The freakiest part is that the creature vanishes right after the guy spots it. What was it doing up there? We may never find out. Night walkers. Have you ever seen those spooky creatures people call night crawlers or soul walkers? They can give you the creeps, but they're also strangely calming. There's this video from California back in 2011 that shows two stick-like figures walking through the woods. They almost look like a family of ghosts, with one resembling a little baby ghost and the other maybe a ghost mom or dad. It's a peaceful and serene scene, and I hope they were able to keep wandering about undisturbed. A clown. Trail cameras are used to take pictures of animals in the wild, but sometimes they capture something really creepy. Like this one time, a man in a clown mask was caught on camera in the forest at night. We don't know what he was doing there, or if he was even a real person. The spooky clown stared right at the camera before vanishing into the woods, giving everyone the creeps. Who knows what other scary stuff is out there lurking in the shadows? A mouse deer. The deep, dark woods conceal secrets and elusive creatures that have managed to evade human detection. Despite our assumptions that certain species have gone extinct, they persist in their natural habitats, hidden from our eyes. However, a trail camera recently captured a remarkable sighting in Vietnam, a two-tone mouse deer that scientists believed had been extinct for 30 years. The footage astonished the world as it revealed a healthy and lively creature meandering through the woods. Monster in the woods. Some friends were having the time of their lives camping in the woods, having snacks and bonfire and movie night. But then one of the friends went somewhere and minutes passed, but she did not come back. While they were all worried, they had to go check on her. And as they ventured deep into the woods searching for the friend, at first they hear her scream. And then a strange creature comes into view. A spider-like being crawling terrifyingly towards them. What was that? Oh, nobody knows. Mysterious being. These two guys were out in the woods late at night. They thought it was a good idea to have some fireworks where no one will get disturbed. However, what they did not know is that someone will get disturbed, and it won't be good for them. As they were doing their thing, shrieks could be heard, and then they decided to go investigate it. And that's when we see the weirdest being possible shrieking and following the men.
Is it still there? Go! No! Run! Run!
They did make it out alive, but that was one hell of a close call. An alien. Who recorded this video? Who uploaded it on the internet? What exactly was this alien doing? Well, these are some of the questions which remain unanswered, and we're only left with this eerie clip, which looks like it belongs to some kind of secret alien interrogation thing. And if you ask me, I'd say from the view of it, the video looks as legit as anything can be. But do let us know what you guys think. A scary-looking thing. About this video, everyone has their own opinions. Some say it's just a gorilla, while others say it's a weird crawling creature, and to some it also looks like a spider. However, no matter what the being is, the way it slowly moves towards the camera, freaking out the man recording it,
What the fuck is that? Okay.
looks like something straight out of a horror movie. A terrifying beast. As a man was recording this massive waterfall, he started noticing something weird. As he zoomed in, he saw a mysterious black creature at the very edge of the waterfall. What was it? Definitely not a plant, because the area did not look like it had any plants there. To some, it was an unknown being, while to others, it was someone with safety gear sitting at a very dangerous spot. Real or fake? It looked really creepy. A visitor. Imagine you're at home, catching some me time or just enjoying some alone time when you glance over and see an alien's head staring straight at you through the window. I mean, that'd freak anyone out, right? Luckily for us, a guy with a camera in his home caught the whole thing on video. It's easily one of the spookiest and clearest sightings of an alien ever caught on camera. A creepy monster. This massive creature was filmed by a man who went out to do some walk in the woods. When he was on it, he heard voices which sounded very similar to a baby crying. Intrigued, he had to go see where the sound was coming from and came across this. A giant weird thing crying and crawling on the ground. But worry not, because this is just a giant salamander who's known to vocalize barking, whining, hissing, or crying sounds. A strange creature. This trail cam footage might look very normal to you at first, but wait till it starts getting creepier. See that? See how the deer was about to turn into some kind of a monster? Well, it's been edited with some pretty impressive AI software that makes the deer look like they're transforming into demonic creatures. I just wanted to share it to show how advanced our technology has become. Pretty scary, right? A river monster. At first, people watching it thought it was an alligator or something, but then they saw it move in the strangest way possible. It was moving only with the help of its strong tail. Also, its front legs were missing. Was it just an alligator with its front legs missing? Or is it some type of evolving river monster which will wash out the whole human race? What do you guys think? A yak. This man was out mountain biking when this happened. He came across a very, very angry yak. Even though the yak couldn't do much harm, he did try charging at them.
Dangerous here. Oh, you get back.
And ask me, and I would say that was one terrifying yak, don't you agree? A creepy thing. This man happened to capture a creepy alien-like creature on camera. He was continuously hearing noises from the back, and he had to go check. And that's how he came across this. Was it an alien or just something fake? I guess we'll never know. But if it was true, I say we all hide in our homes, because who knows what other weirdness is lurking out there. Someone in the window. This man had some previous encounters with the supernatural, thus he wanted camera installed everywhere, even in his bedroom. And one night, when he was sleeping peacefully, he sensed someone was watching him through the window. He got up ASAP and turned the lights on, and that's when we see the ghostly figure in the window. It looked like it was waving, maybe? Seriously, how creepy is that? A siren head. A man in Amsterdam was recording the pretty after sunset sky when he ended up getting one terrifying creature on the camera, a siren head. Yes, you heard it right. This massively huge siren head was seen. However, at first it was just some scary noises, and it took a few seconds before the monster came into sight. What do you guys think? Is it fake? Or do siren heads really exist in real life? An alien. This video is captured in an unknown location and shows a mysterious creature hiding behind a tree. As the camera approaches the tree, the creature briefly peers out from between the branches. Many have noted that it looks very much like an alien gray with a giant head, thin body, and large black eyes. Not much information is available about the clip, but it was likely filmed in a wooded area, maybe a forest or park. Could this creature actually be an alien from another world? A creepy creature. Dark web is something we all know about, but not everyone can access. And trust me, the ones who did access it ended up regretting. Take this video for example. We see a creepy creature moving in the house from hallway to the room and then to God knows where. And if you're thinking it was human, just look at the way it's walking. Does that look human to you? Alien-like figure. In July 2021, some people were on their way back to their home in India. According to them, it was somewhere around midnight when they came across this creepy figure walking along the road. Good thing they had a dash cam installed in their car, so we got this footage. And just look at the way it's walking. It seems like an alien to me. But do let us know what you guys think. A strange worm. A man in Australia was out for his routine walk when he came across this strange-looking worm-like thing. It's not the fact that it looks like a worm that makes it strange. But it's the length of the thing and the way it's divided into multiple segments is what makes it strangest of all. I've never seen any worm of such length before. A sneaky being. This man heard some strange noises from the forest and decided to venture out there late at night to see if he could find something interesting. However, he came across a bizarre creature lurking behind a tree and making creepy whistle-like noises. When he spotted it, he sprinted away as fast as he could, and fortunately, he managed to escape without harm. Another Yeti. The person who filmed the video was extremely surprised by the massive creature that he captured. However, the shocker was that the creature was nowhere to be seen when they returned the next day to film it again. This caused a frenzy online as people tried to decipher what it could be. Some speculated it might be a Nephilim or a Yeti, while others believed it could be a top-secret military project. A baby mermaid. You must have always heard about mermaids being a mythical creature, but this video will get you doubting that. A man in India saw something unusual swimming in the water and went to inspect it, and to his surprise, it was something which looked exactly like a mermaid, just a little smaller in size than we all must have expected. Perhaps it was a baby mermaid, or maybe just a little monkey drowning. With the video ending so abruptly, there's nothing we can say for sure. A Yeti. Now, sighting a Bigfoot here and there and from a very far away angle is one thing, but capturing a really big creature falling and tumbling down is just on another level. And this is exactly what this man was able to capture on his camera. Two big creatures, or perhaps Yetis, were seen devouring an animal, and a second passes and we see one tumbling down the icy hill. Even though it was recorded in 2016, to this day, no logical explanation has been given by anyone. A crawling creature. This video literally has everyone spooking out as they see a weird glowing creature in the middle of nowhere at night crawling on the ground. Some call it the rake, while others think it's just some unknown animal. But the ones who happened to record it said it looked similar to a human, but was not a human at all. So then what was it? I guess we'll never know. Bear versus mirror. Trail cameras usually capture animals chilling, hunting, and going along their normal life. But sometimes these cameras capture things out of the ordinary. For instance, this bear was just going along his way when he suddenly saw something he'd never seen before. His own reflection. And needless to say, we do not think he liked it a lot. A Bigfoot. Camera can be handy at times, but we need to be careful because sometimes trying to record dangerous things can lead to unfortunate circumstances. For instance, take the case of this man who tried to record a Bigfoot strolling along in the woods. Guess he was lucky or maybe hiding perfectly that the creature didn't notice him, or we wouldn't have been able to get this footage. Mysterious creature. A couple had been noticing weird noises in their backyard, but they'd never been able to know what was causing it, so they installed a camera there. It was all peaceful and quiet at first as nothing suspicious happened, but as some time passed, we saw a creepy head popping out of the fence. We see it once, then we see it twice. Was it just a dog, or was it something which had remained hidden from us since forever? A brave man. This footage might not be as disturbing or creepy as many others in today's list, but this is unusual nonetheless. As we see this Florida man dancing along with the alligator, we can't help but rub our eyes twice to make sure this is real. And trust us, this is real. Florida sure is one strange place. A sewer creature. This dude was filming and caught a freaky creature hiding in the shadows. It only showed itself when he stopped moving, and it had these creepy glowing eyes. But when he tried to get closer, the thing bolted back into the dark. Now we're left with more questions than answers, wondering what the heck that thing even was. An elk. So there was a video that captured an elk on a trail cam wearing a tire like a necklace. Crazy, right? This poor elk had the tire around his neck for 2 years while going about his daily life. As time passed, his neck and antlers grew bigger, which made it impossible for him to remove the tire by himself. Luckily, wildlife officials came to the rescue. They gave the elk some medicine to make him sleep and attempted to remove the tire. Sadly, they had to remove his antlers too. But don't worry, the elk will grow a new pair of antlers in due time. Dancing bear. The Wildlife Channel put cameras in the jungle to see the animals there. They were hoping to film them doing normal things, but what the cameras showed was surprising. The bears they caught on camera were dancing and moving their bodies like Shakira. It's pretty amazing that bears can dance like that, but did you know that bears also get itchy? And instead of scratching themselves with their paws like we do, they use trees. And look at them go. They're really enjoying themselves, aren't they? Lion intruders. When you go camping, unexpected guests might drop by, like mosquitoes and other bugs if you're lucky. But if you're not, like the guy in this video, a big male lion and 2 lionesses might pay you a visit. The man was sleeping soundly in his tent when all of a sudden this happened. Luckily, he stayed put and didn't try to run away. The lion seemed more curious than anything and didn't harm him. Despite the scare, the camper had an unforgettable night. Breathing earth. So there's this really weird thing that a camera caught in the forest. It looked like the earth was moving up and down, almost like it was taking a break from spinning and going around the sun. People call it the breathing earth because it's like the ground is breathing. This happens when the wind is strong and the ground is loose. It can be pretty scary if you don't know what's going on. You might think the earth is going to swallow you up. It's definitely one of the craziest things ever caught on trail camera. A massive spider. Someone caught a really creepy video and posted it online. It shows a creature that looks like a spider or maybe a crab, and it scared a lot of people. At first, I thought it was just a dog dressed up in a spider suit, but when I took a closer look, I realized it definitely wasn't a dog. The only dog in the video looked totally freaked out by the weird bent-legged things too. So we're all pretty confused about what it could be. Buck shedding antlers. So there was this male deer in Ottawa, Canada that got caught on camera losing its antlers. It might seem strange to us, but it's actually a regular thing for male deer to lose their antlers in winter to make way for new ones. The shedding process usually happens from late winter to early spring. It was funny to see that the deer in the video seemed surprised by what was happening and ran away looking confused. Weird lights. It's really hard to figure out what those lights in the sky are. Some people think they might be aliens, but others think it's just a bug in front of the camera. Do you think this means aliens are visiting us, or maybe they're here but we don't even know it? Also, what about those strange flying objects we sometimes see? The government just released a report on them, but there's still not enough evidence to know for sure what they are. Bird murmuration. We know how birds travel from one place to another in flocks, all flying together to search for new places to live and feed, right? But this murmuration of a massive flock of birds was just something else. Even the researchers said they'd never seen such a kind of behavior in birds before, and that it might be alarming as well. And unusual phenomenon. Do you doubt the existence of Bigfoot and other creatures like that? Well, check this out. There's some drone footage that might make you think twice. In the video, you can see some enormous trees shaking like crazy as if a giant monster is trying to pull them out of the ground. And we're not talking about puny trees. These ones are huge and super tall. No way could a person or machine do something like that. So do you still believe that Bigfoots are just made-up stories? A fox family. And this video was captured on a trail cam, and it's just too cute to miss. You can see a mother fox and her 4 cubs all playing around and annoying their mom a bit, but she doesn't seem to mind at all. What's even more amazing is that the family seems completely oblivious to the fact that they're being recorded. The subscriber's pick. This picture shows a Bigfoot walking through the woods. It was taken by a trail cam installed in the Charleston area, but when they went to investigate it, it turned out to just be a cutout of a cardboard, which was all part of a prank pulled by someone. A self-loving bear. Believe it or not, this bear from Boulder, Colorado has become the new selfie champ. The story goes that this curious creature found a camera with a motion sensor and decided to go wild with it. The outcome? More than 400 snapshots of the bear posing in all kinds of ways, giving his best sultry gaze and even making some goofy faces. This bear wasn't going to quit until it got every picture just right for social media. Strange little beings. Now, these little beings were found by a woman on her kitchen floor. And if you're thinking these are little mice, no, they are not. According to the experts, the legs of the creatures resembled moths, and there's a chance that the upper body might have been eaten by a cat, but the experts weren't so sure either. So we don't know what these tiny little beings were. Buck in a wig. Have you ever come across the buck who's the handsomest of all? The bad boy grazing the grass and winning all the ladies with his wig on? Well, now you have. This buck was recorded in 2013 and caught the attention of everyone with his stylish wig. It was at first part of his antlers, but then slowly moved on top of his head, making him the most stunning buck ever. A creepy deer. Did you check out that weird video of a goat standing still and staring straight ahead? It's been all over the web and everyone's losing it. Some peeps reckon it might be the mythical skinwalker, while others are calling BS. We ain't got a clue who shot it, so it's all up to our own imaginations.
Hello. She wants to come in.
Damn, one thing's for certain. It's super creepy. Alien in graveyard. Footage was uploaded by some unknown guy in 2017, and it had everyone in shock who happened to watch it. At first, we see the quiet of a cemetery, but then as the camera rolls on, we catch a glimpse of a bizarre humanoid figure half hiding behind a grave. If we zoom into it, we see a weird being with a huge head and arms. It fits so accurately to what we have in mind for an alien, don't you think? A haunted tunnel. This might be too short of a clip, but a mere second is enough to feel the spookiness of the video. We see a creepy figure emerging from the dark and running straight towards the man holding the camera. And then we see the man running as fast as he can for his life. I'm not going near any tunnels from now on. Rake. A kid was out in the woods when he started hearing some weird noises, and that's when he decided to take his phone out and film it while trying to see what was causing it. And to his surprise, it wasn't just him who was looking for the creature. The creature was also looking for him, and that we get to know when he comes out of the woods and starts running towards the kid. A creepy girl. Back in 2013, there was this video that spread like wildfire online. It showed a lone girl dressed in white walking around a cemetery while some men recorded her. The video lasted about 4 minutes, and the girl was shown wandering around the graveyard, stopping by different graves. Who was she? Did she happen to be a ghost? These and countless other questions were thrown around, but no one had any answers to offer. A crawling thing. In this video, we see a courageous person exploring an empty house using only a flashlight. While exploring, the person begins to feel uneasy, and then a frightening creature appears from the darkness, moving towards them and making terrifying sounds. The person quickly runs away from the house, clearly scared by the unknown creature. Although we don't know what the creature was, it's obvious that the abandoned house is not a suitable place for those who are easily frightened. A deer. At first, we see a deer all panicking, running from here to there, and eventually running away from the man. And in a second emerges another deer unlike any other, with its neck all folded. And then it runs away too, as fast as it could. All this happens in a few seconds, and the man there is like, what just happened? Even though it was just 2 deer, that does not make the video any less creepy. A weird body. In May 2019, a woman found a weird body laying in her yard in Florida. She immediately called the authorities to come and see what it was, and needless to say, they were all just as perplexed as she was. According to some, it was a big lizard. But what exactly caused the big lizard to dry up like that? Not even the bones were there. A frozen monster. It's not just forests and jungles that hide secrets beyond our imagination. Sometimes it's the ice too. For instance, this man who ended up finding a Bigfoot all frozen up under the ice.
I can see its eyes and it's his head.
Maybe it got trapped inside by the cruel nature, or maybe it was just a hoax. Which, even if it was, I'll be scared as hell still. snakes. This footage was filmed when a team of workers were told by some locals that they think there's a snake in their ceiling. None of them knew that it wasn't just a snake on that ceiling, but two massive snakes living up there. As the ceiling dropped, the snakes almost dropped with it too, leaving everyone near them to jump back in horror. It happened in Malaysia, and since this video was uploaded, everyone there has been checking their ceilings twice every night. A giant spider. Now, was it just a tiny spider looking so big due to being close to the trail cam? Or was it a really massive spider lurking in the depths of the woods? It's up to you what you think, but if you ask me, I'm never going into those woods with such long-legged creatures crawling everywhere. Dwarves. Are dwarves real, or are they just works of fantasy? I guess you'll be shocked to know that there's a chance that these creatures might be real. I mean, look at this video and the small things in the jungle. Don't they look very similar to what a dwarf would be like? Someone in the sink. I don't know if any of you might have guessed it, but this one is also from Florida. She wanted to check the outside bathroom, which was along the pool, and it seemed all fine until she went up close to the sink and found this thing hiding inside. But the question here is, what was it? A snake? A lizard? A gecko? And because it's Florida, we can't really say anything for sure. Glowing eyes. Imagine you're out with friends on a drive late at night and you encounter this in the way. Well, this is what happened to these guys who were just having fun when not just one but two pairs of creepy glowing eyes started staring at them. Even though the creatures were far and the guys were in the car, that was not enough to make them any less scared. A creepy doll. Once a man was in the forest gathering some logs when he stumbled upon something peculiar. We're not exactly sure what was going through his mind, but he ended up picking up this eerie doll and taking it back to his home. To make matters even more bizarre, he even decided to record the doll while it was doing who knows what. If it were me, I wouldn't even dream of doing something like that. Not even in a million years. A mutated spider. If you think giant mutated spiders are only in the sci-fi movies, you think wrong, and this video will show you how. People in Ragasnika were shocked when one morning they saw this giant spider crawling across this hill. Luckily, it was far away from the population, so no one got harmed. But the most mysterious part is that the spider just vanished in a few minutes. Where did it go? No one knows. A scary smile. Let me give you some advice. If you're out late at night and see a tunnel on the way, it's better to turn your car around and drive as far away from the tunnel as possible, because if you don't, something like this might be waiting for you inside. This creature with the creepiest smile possible was waiting at the entrance, and whatever happened to the people, we'll never get to know because the video just ended there. An unknown insect. Okay, so what comes into your mind when you first see it? Me, being dumb, thought it was the grass walking, but it turns out to be some kind of insect, a very tiny one. Though the man who uploaded it didn't happen to have any kind of information about it, and the thing was just as unusual to him as it is to all of us. But let us know if you guys have any info on this one. A spooky creature. This hairless creature was discovered by a group of plantation workers. It had small ears, no tail, and a bald, brownish-gray body with sharp claws. The workers were frightened by its odd appearance and believed it was a supernatural entity coming to haunt them. They attacked the creature, but afterward, specialists in nature explained that it was an uncommon Malayan sun bear. The workers were rebuked for their harsh behavior, and the bear was relocated to its natural habitat in the woods. A creature in the woods. As the videographer was recording a moose by the side of the road in Gaspésie, Quebec, Canada, they noticed an oddity in the footage. Although the moose was initially the only thing in view, the viewer became curious about a strange figure on the back left of the video. The clip gained a lot of attention online, and many people made guesses about what the enigmatic figure could be, ranging from supernatural beings to extraterrestrial life forms. The question of what could be hiding in the Quebec wilderness remains unanswered, causing people to wonder. This image is taken from two videos, one which shows a ghost attempting to hide from something, and to do that he jumps into the water. This whole thing was recorded on a trail cam set nearby to look for animals. The next clip shows an alien-like figure peeking from behind the tree. If it wasn't for the glowing eyes, the figure might have gone unnoticed and considered to be just part of the tree. Something hanging from goat. In the video, a group of individuals is seen walking at night with torches and sticks while leading some goats. Everything seems ordinary until you spot a white goat with an unusual object hanging from its neck. The men appear frightened by the object, which stays attached to the goat even when they attempt to take it off. Eventually, it resembles a strange shadow on the ground, swiftly heading towards the forest and vanishing. To me, it appears quite disturbing. What are your thoughts on what it might be? A ghost. Many people believe that Cannock Chase is the most haunted town in the UK due to the numerous reports of paranormal events that have occurred over the years. However, there were still some doubts until a video surfaced online featuring a girl in a white dress standing in the forest. It was later discovered that she was actually a black-eyed girl in a school uniform. The eerie footage was captured by a drone and quickly became viral, leaving millions of people, especially those residing in the vicinity, feeling uneasy. Missing prisoner. This epic video was recorded by a drone which was actually helping the police find a prisoner who somehow got away and was hiding somewhere. And well, the view the drone gave was enough for them to see the man laying in the field. As soon as he heard the drone, he knew he was in trouble. Of course, you can guess what happened next. He got caught. A zombie ghost town. It isn't always the Bigfoot and the rakes that the drones spot. Sometimes it's way more than that. Take this clip for example. These two friends were out exploring an abandoned ghost town through their drone camera, and that's when they came across this eerie sight. Zombies. Or maybe at least it looked like it. And it wasn't just one. They spotted more than one and also some people who were trying to take them down. Now, we think they're zombies, but if you have any better explanations, do let us know. A massive being. A gentleman in Mexico saw a massive creature strolling up the mountainside. To those who suspect that it might be untrue, be aware that it's not fabricated. Judging by the size of the buildings, the mountains, and the creature, it was certainly a Bigfoot walking along the hills, headed in an unknown direction. A creepy monster. This video was filmed in the UK and shows an unusual creature hopping across the road. Locals had reported seeing a strange being for months before the footage was shared, but no one believed them until they witnessed it firsthand. The identity of the creature remains a mystery, but do let us know if you guys know anything about it. Dobby. Can you decide if this spooky video captured by a family's CCTV is weird or not? They initially believed it was their son pulling a Halloween joke, dressed in a costume that had skinny legs and a head similar to Dobby from Harry Potter. However, they found out it wasn't him by comparing it to their son's appearance and even making him reenact the scene with underwear on his head. So if it wasn't their son, then what could it be? Was it just a figment of their imagination or something more ominous lurking in the darkness? A spider. This footage captures an enormous spider scaling a building. Truly a colossal creature that invokes a sense of dread. It's hard to imagine encountering such a creature in person. In fact, the image is so vivid that it may linger in my thoughts for some time to come. Although I cannot confirm its authenticity, I'm not taking any risks and will steer clear of the location where this video is filmed. Teleportation. A drone in the US captured a video that reportedly shows a man teleporting. The video starts with the man walking by the roadside, but he suddenly disappears into thin air. This raises a lot of questions, such as when he went and how he was able to do it. Unfortunately, no additional information could be uncovered. A scary woman. What are you doing if you see an abandoned church in the middle of nowhere? At least you won't be going in, right? But these guys decided to go inside and check what's happening there. And well, I guess that got what they were expecting. A creepy woman in a white dress sitting all alone. And creeping the hell out of them. Mass burial. Now, this one isn't the usual found this creature type of clip. Instead, this one shows the heartbreaking moments of a mass burial which had to happen after the recent earthquake that hit Turkey. Hundreds of unidentified people had to meet their end like that. May they all rest in peace. Amazon tribe. Back in 2016, after exploring the Amazon forest, Jose Carlos Morales came across a tribe that had not been contacted before. It's hard to believe, isn't it? Morales observed that these people had painted their bodies in a bright red hue, which may have come from crushed seeds or other sources. He mentioned that these Indian tribes had fled from other parts of the continent and settled in the Amazon rainforest near Brazil. It's amazing to think that there are still tribes out there that have never had any contact with the outside world. Loch Ness Monster. The concept of an unknown creature hiding in the deep and dark waters has always intrigued people. Although we rarely witness such sightings, sometimes they turn out to be real and mysterious, while other times they're just a fake trick. Recently, a drone flying over a lake captured an enormous figure in the water. Could it be the legendary Loch Ness Monster, or something else concealed in the depths? It's up to you to decide. Humpback whales. Whenever drones are used to capture footage of the ocean, we can witness some amazing sights from nature. Take, for example, this video where we see whales creating a spiral shape that follows the Fibonacci sequence. It's truly remarkable to observe the whales in action from the very beginning of their movements all the way up to the moment they break the surface to consume their prey inside the large air bubble rings they create. It's simply awe-inspiring. A drone ghost. Do you believe that the image of ghosts wearing white cloth and shining bodies is only limited to movies? Well, you might need to reconsider that thought. Recently, a video captured an object that appeared to be a ghost floating around and investigating an area. But as it gets closer to the camera, you'll come to realize that it's actually a drone which has been made to look like a ghost by someone, probably for Halloween. Although it's not real, it still looks impressive, don't you think? Old Car City. Old Car City, located in the United States, is a renowned junkyard covering 34 acres near White, Georgia, housing over 4,000 cars. The vast collection of cars makes it hard to look in any direction without seeing them. Visitors can walk along almost 6 miles of paths within the property, but the owner charges extra for photography. So, have you considered a photo shoot at this fascinating location? Kangaroo attack. It's not okay to harm baby animals, no matter how tiny or weak they may be. A video recently captured a mother kangaroo chasing and taking down a flying drone that was filming her adorable babies. The mother kangaroo likely saw the drone as a danger to her young and acted to keep them safe. It's unknown if the person operating the drone was able to retrieve it, but they should definitely think twice before upsetting another protective mama kangaroo. A Bigfoot. Get ready to be scared by a new sighting in Alberta, Canada. Andrew Dawson recorded a video that seems to reveal a huge being, perhaps from a tribe of giants who come from that area, strolling on top of a mountain with no clear support. The dark form is so immense that it was initially spotted by 2 commuters during their regular drive. Many people are now curious if the tales about giants in this part of the world are factual, or if something more ominous is hiding in the Alberta mountains. Sharks. The drone video displays a swimmer calmly resting on top of a group of sharks without any apparent concern for her safety. The video was captured by a tourist flying a drone off the shore of the Maldives. While snorkeling, the group spotted a gathering of nurse sharks who were mostly harmless to humans. One adventurous woman decided to join them in the water. While this is a peaceful way to connect with nature, it's also risky because a large shark could mistakenly attack, and the consequences could be fatal. Bird runs on water. This man was holding a little bird who appeared to be calm at first, but as soon as the man put it down, the bird did not even wait for a second before running on the water and as far away from the man as possible. Though I should mention that this little guy is so me running away from my responsibilities. A giant wolf. Let's say you're out at night, having the time of your life with your friends, and suddenly out of nowhere, you get to see the massive animal coming out of the dark and staring right at you. I don't know why these guys just decided to stay there and film it. That creature's a gigantic wolf, man. Your best bet's to run for your life. A baby bird. We're all aware that nature has its unique way of functioning, but there are times we're just left shocked by the way nature makes things. For instance, take this example. This tiny bird looks like something out of a horror movie. Like it's gonna grow big and then end humanity. And can you believe it? This is what they look like when they grow up. Volcano. Recently, numerous individuals climbed a steep trail to witness an active volcano located on Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula. Despite the danger involved, people took the risk as it's not a common occurrence to see an active volcano in all its splendor. Nevertheless, officials have declared that using a drone is a safer way to experience the site. This footage presents a picturesque view that appears to be captured on a different planet with volcanic activity. But don't let its beauty deceive you, as this natural wonder could turn into a calamity. Titanoboa. Recorded in unclear water, this footage displays a colossal snake attempting to locate an exit. Its actual size could be miscalculated, but by comparing it to nearby items, it's presumed to be roughly 40 feet in length. This video is a frightening indication that these Titanoboas may be present, conceivably concealed. Moose. Take a look at this breathtaking drone footage that captured an incredible moment in nature that most of us never got to witness. This majestic moose shed its antlers and took off into the wilderness. The drone captured the moment in stunning clarity, and you could almost feel the excitement of witnessing such a rare occurrence. This video stood out from the rest with its perfect timing, impeccable camera quality, and the sheer beauty of the natural surroundings. A drone sacrifice. Ever wondered how we get all these amazing footages of volcanoes erupting from such close angles? Well, apparently lots of drones are sacrificed in this ritual. And even though it's very sad, but the drone which gave us these amazing shots of an active volcano in Vanuatu is no more with us either. Respect for our fallen soldier. World's biggest cemetery. Take to the skies with this drone footage capturing the world's largest cemetery in Iraq. Spanning an impressive 1,485.5 acres, this sprawling site is home to over 5 million graves. From above, the enormity of this burial ground is striking, with an endless sea of tombstones stretching out in all directions. Despite its somber purpose, the sheer magnitude of this cemetery is both breathtaking and awe-inspiring. As the camera glides overhead, it's easy to imagine the stories and histories buried beneath the surface, reminding us of the significance and power of honoring those who have passed. Reindeers. Lately, some really strange animal videos have been going viral on the internet, and it's freaking people out. The latest one was shot by a drone, and it shows a bunch of reindeer walking around in a circle like they're hypnotized or something. Some folks think this is a sign from above that the world is coming to an end, or that a major natural disaster is about to go down. Nobody really knows for sure what's going on, and even the experts are stumped. An alligator. Flying a drone in for a close-up of an alligator might get you a cool shot, but it might be the last thing your drone ever sees. This is what a travel blogger in the Florida Everglades learned when she attempted to capture footage of an alligator. She flew her new drone towards the gator for a closer view. Suddenly, the alligator leaped up and bit through the drone's battery.
Suddenly.
Talk about indigestion. Sadly, the blogger lost her drone, but gained a viral video. Huntsman spider. If you're afraid of spiders, you might want to skip this part, because what's coming up next is going to give you the creeps for at least a week. It's the huntsman spider, and as its name suggests, it's one of the scariest spiders out there. Just take a look at its enormous size. If I saw one of these in my room, I'd seriously consider moving to a different country. Police drones. Although drones are considered groundbreaking technology, not everyone is fond of them. Criminals in particular are at risk of being caught due to their presence. However, it's not people catching them, but rather the Japanese police using their own drones equipped with nets to catch rogue or trespassing drones. It's quite a sight to witness the police drones apprehending other drones, and feels like something straight out of an action movie. The authorities only deploy these drones when they notice suspicious-looking drones in the sky. A Russian soldier. An astonishing video has emerged on the internet displaying the exceptional courage of a Russian soldier. The soldier caught a drone bomb dropped on him by Ukrainian forces and threw it away instantly. The soldier's swift response rescued his own life and those of others present. This occurrence reminds us of the continuing conflict between Russia and Ukraine and the bravery of soldiers risking their lives on both sides. An octomoose. Okay, now this is one trippy video which will leave you all shocked and confused. How is this even real? Walking with 8 legs with no care of anything, well, let us tell you. If you look closely, it's just 2 moose walking really close to each other. A missing kid. In September 2022, a small boy got lost in the woods as it was getting dark and more frightening. The boy had no way of escaping, but luckily the police officers had a great plan. They decided to use a thermal camera on a drone to locate the boy. After a thorough search, the drone spotted something deep in the woods. The drone then directed the police, ambulance, and fire crews to the boy's location. The crews found the boy safe and sound. An alien. This video was captured by a home security system, and it shows a man walking out of his front door and disappearing in a burst of light. This is causing everyone to question what exactly occurred to him. Some believe it could be a prank, while others speculate that it's a sign of extraterrestrial beings or a groundbreaking new invention. Regardless, it's extremely mind-boggling. The rake. Just picture yourself exploring the woods with your drone camera, enjoying the scenery, when suddenly you spot something strange out of the corner of your eye. This is exactly what happened to a YouTuber and their friend while filming nature's calm beauty. At first, they assumed it was a coyote moving behind the trees, but as they flew the drone closer, they were startled to discover it was something far more bizarre and unsettling. The creature appeared to be human-like, but moved in a very peculiar and creepy way. Even now, nobody knows what this strange figure was, but the drone footage is enough to make your skin crawl. Abandoned bicycles. Looks like China's bicycle rental companies were pedaling too hard, but didn't quite manage to stay on track. A few years ago, bike rental services flooded China's market, overestimating the demand. As a result, millions of colorful bikes were left abandoned, causing traffic and congestion. Companies couldn't control the situation, leading to closures and thousands of leftover bikes scattered everywhere. Drone footage captured bicycle graveyards in every major city, rusting away as mountains of abandoned bikes. A perfectly frozen lake. The freezing weather usually doesn't have much to offer, but this amazing ice skating video is an exception. It'll leave you in awe and a bit scared at the same time. A man from Utah captured the breathtaking drone footage of an ice skater gracefully gliding across a frozen lake. Since the skater's drone footage was posted on Instagram, thousands of people have been left speechless. Rock of Nazla. The Rock of Nazla, or as everyone calls it, Al-Nasla, is located in Saudi Arabia, and it's said that it was the aliens who cut it in half, because no human could do that. It looks like it was done with a laser or some advanced tool, but it's been around for ages, way before we had that kind of technology. So who or what actually did it? That's still a mystery waiting to be solved. Hand in Desert. The Hand of the Desert is truly an impressive sight, both in its size and location. Its mysterious presence in the midst of a vast desert landscape adds to its allure and makes it a must-see destination for travelers exploring the region. The fact that it was created over 40 years ago and still stands as a remarkable work of art is a testament to the skill and creativity of the Chilean sculptor who crafted it. And this video happened to have captured the best possible view of it. Gate to Hell. As we head towards the Turkmen Desert, the drone footage reveals a blazing gas crater commonly called the Darvaza gas crater. It's situated near the village of Darvaza and spans across 230 feet in width. The fiery pit's been on fire for more than 5 decades, emitting a fiery glow that can be witnessed from afar. Due to its long-lasting flames, it's often referred to as the Gates of Hell. The crater was initially created in the early 1970s when the ground caved in during a Soviet gas drilling mission. To prevent natural gas leakage, scientists set the enormous hole on fire, and it's been burning ever since. This image is taken from an incident which happened in August 2022. A man was swimming in the lake when an alligator sneaked up on him and almost had him dead in its strong jaws. Luckily, the man survived as he put his hand in the gator's mouth to get the beast to let him go. This whole incident was recorded on a drone and had people in shock when it hit the internet. Mud volcano. The Tavern Wildlife Park recorded an unusual volcanic event in September 2022. The phenomenon was the Lipad mud volcano, which is considered rare. Although it lasted for about 10 minutes and covered an area almost as big as a football field, it was reported to be not harmful. Strong bubbles of mud were produced, but they weren't even hot. This event resulted in the formation of mineral-rich soil, which is beneficial for animals to lick. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos.
Prepare to be unnerved and chilled to your very core as we unveil spine-tingling scenes of unknown predators captured in the dark depths of pitch-black forests. These bone-chilling, enigmatic beasts lurk in the shadows and have left experts baffled and the bravest trembling. Join us as we will show you the most shocking and terrifying encounters ever caught on film. Sleeping Beast. This scruffy beast was first seen crouched over a rocky peak in Arizona, but later it was seen resting near the woods. With its hair-covered face and faceless body, the creature certainly looked terrible. The limbs, which were bent or even partially chopped, contributed to its horrifying features. However, even though the rescue personnel were contacted right away and the shaggy figure was brought into jail for additional testing, the authorities provided no details on its whereabouts. What then was it? And from whence did it originate? Tell me what you think. The slender figure. This dashcam captures a man sprinting across the road at an unearthly speed. I'm curious about its origins and aims because of its strange legs and humanoid shape. Is it an extraterrestrial being from space, or perhaps a fabled skinwalker on the hunt? The driver's inaction prompts doubts about the veracity of the footage, but the unpredictability of the enigmatic figure is really unsettling. The Yeti on the Hill. A group of tourists were shocked to see a huge, hairy person hiding in the thick forest among Nepal's snow-capped hills. The enormous stature and human-like stride remind people of the fabled Yeti. As the tourists considered their chances of coming across the unsettling creature, they felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. With each traveler telling their own version of the event, the meeting turned into an amazing experience. After going through something so strange, I would probably never venture into the woods again. Rock-throwing creature. Always intending to spook us, this time Bigfoot has devised yet another scheme, lurking behind a massive tree. The man who is visiting the woods is being watched by the cryptid. And then, as soon as the camera reaches those sneaking eyes, not ready to make an appearance, it hides behind the trees. But it returned once more. That too with a strike strategy this time. The Bigfoot realizes it's time to leave as he tosses a stone in the man's direction. The man quickly returns to his automobile.
Oh, that was a rock. Oh.
And now the beast stands at a slight distance without even trying to hide itself and throws a stone directly into the cameraman's face. Although this video has drawn a lot of attention, analysts think there's a good probability it's not a human wearing a costume, because it would be difficult to make a throw while wearing a bulky outfit. Coyote howling. The image stands out as the most peculiar trail cam capture. Captured in Southern California, it depicts 3 coyotes howling simultaneously, howling and exuding the spookiest sensations while standing somewhat apart. The man considered it to be the scariest thing he had ever come across until he noticed an object in the shadows. 2 dazzling eyes stared directly at the coyotes as though they were about to attack. However, what was it? Some suggest that these eyes could belong to a lurking Sasquatch-like creature that was drawn to the growls as it feeds on the animal's blood, despite the fact that some thought it was another animal. However, please share your thoughts on the image with me. Rake sighting. Aiming at the unfortunate man adrift in the forest, creeping up a slender tree. That is one lean beast, all set to strike its next victim at any moment. This is the tale of an Alaskan man who went to Tongass National Park in 2018. He got lost among the tracks while camping there with his buddies. As the night deepens, he starts panicking, thinking he may not make it to his group. The man went crazy when he noticed something on the tree. The guy was startled as he turned his light back to the creep's body and saw the lean creature with an open mouth and the fabled blazing eyes after initially mistaking it for a wild animal. There was just one option: to run. So he did that exact thing. Crouching giant. Captured in the northeastern region of Arizona, the video shows a massive beast that can be seen slithering over a rock. The strange crawl is what makes this creature spooky. Although it resembled a gigantic black bear, no four-legged creature moves in this way. Thus, convinced that it was the supposed Bigfoot discovered in the Arizonian highlands, the man was taken aback when, in a matter of seconds, it transformed its body into a tiny canine-like creature. What then? A dog or a bipedal animal? He was confused when others suggested a different idea and dubbed it a skinwalker after the man published the video. It is said to transform and assume the forms of many different creatures. So, a skinwalker then? An enormous animal? Or a ruse? Tell me what you folks think it is. Monstrous wolf. In an attempt to photograph the newborn bear pups, a man placed his trail camera close to a black bear's lair. After spending the entire night there with his camera and coming back the following day, the man was taken aback to see what strange-looking monster the cubs had become. The strange appearance was further enhanced by the demonic features, alien-like ears, and frighteningly bright eyes that exude a spooky aura. The wolf-like monster was peeking out from the trees as if it was searching for something, most likely his next victim. However, because it was photographed in the dark, and there were no other obvious evidence of the cryptid's presence along the trail, save the video that was taken, not much could be found out regarding its identity. Monkey Man crossing a river. The Bigfoot enthusiast had a rather different tale to tell. They genuinely think that the creature in the river is a Sasquatch, known as the Monster of the Dewey Lake. This entity from folklore inhabits the southern part of Michigan and is said to possess a strong and hairy body. Despite having half of its body submerged in water, the creature appears towering due to its reddish-brown torso. And this is what sets off people's mental triggers. Is that a man wearing a monkey suit? Or is that the lake monster? The strange humanoid figure. Trail cameras are positioned to watch wildlife, but occasionally they record unusual scenes like a strange humanoid figure walking across a field. Its human-like characteristics and atypical limbs raise questions regarding the existence of unidentified species or cryptids. This mysterious, enigmatic figure pushes the boundaries of what we know about the natural world and invites us to investigate the realm of the unexplained. The discovery of the trail camera inspires awe and curiosity in us and compels us to learn more about the mysteries that are outside the realm of our normal understanding. Bigfoot family. You'll feel your spine tingle as you explore this trail camera owner's incredible encounter and its mysterious contents. And there it is, the vague outline of a big, hairy animal moving through the forest with a similar humanoid figure that might be its offspring. Two additional black figures that are hiding in the distance are what have everyone even more perplexed as the argument regarding Bigfoot's existence and nature rages again. Were there more of these creatures lurking in the shadows? The image's validity is still a mystery, but its mystery feeds into the never-ending debate about the legendary animals. The tentacles of the deep. A trail camera captured this breathtaking and terrifying scene during a strong storm. Enormous tentacles rising out of the ocean, reminiscent of the legendary Kraken. The enormous ocean depths conceal countless mysteries, and this vista of enormous marine life makes viewers think about nautical myths and stories. The existence of these enormous creatures calls into question accepted wisdom regarding our oceans. The few glances that cameras provide us with of these creatures provide us with more questions than answers on the wonders that lie under our waters. Bear's spooky heist. The following video shows a black bear skulking around a homeowner's property, examining its surroundings like a cunning would-be thief. He sets out on a daring quest to raid the chicken coop as soon as he thinks it's safe. He searches around for a way to unlock the wooden coop. He looks around for possible flaws while standing on his hind legs. When he's unable to open it calmly, the bear becomes desperate and uses force to rip and bite through the wood. But wait, there's more to see from the homeowner's trail camera. The homeowner is left in shock by the midnight marauder as the bear flees into the darkness after being startled by an alarm system. Ghost bird. Talk about an eerie surprise! Imagine mistaking a ghost bird for a harmless piece of wood. The great putu, a nocturnal bird renowned for its unsettling camouflaging abilities, is this grumpy-looking beast. These skeletal birds, found in Brazil and Mexico, give you the creeps. But fear not, they are largely benign and content to live in their forest habitat. So the next time you see a strange-looking bird, hold off on drawing assumptions. Perhaps it is merely a ghost bird keeping watch over its eerie realm. Abandoned car forest. Tucked down in the middle of a Belgian woodland is an auto cemetery that would make horror flicks blush. Can you imagine neon-colored flowers blooming from engines, or cars entwined with tree roots? You'll think that this post-apocalyptic scene is right out of a Hollywood production. But don't be alarmed. Nature is slowly reclaiming man-made objects, as evidenced by this unsettling spectacle. Some residents find the automobiles to be a lovely quirk, while others find the constant stream of inquisitive tourists unsettling. When you drive through Google Maps, you'll encounter something that'll make you doubt reality. Fearless forest thieves. These days, raccoons aren't limited to the grasslands and woods. They're now moving into cities. They are the best scavengers because of their skillful paws, which allow them to pick locks and unlock doors. Watch this trail camera video to see how raccoons find an abundance of food. A buck, though, wants in on the action as well. Soon, as more raccoons join the celebration, a vicious brawl breaks out. The deer is outnumbered, but its antlers are formidable tools. Nevertheless, the raccoons fulfill their namesake by darting off and coming back for more. Hiding predator. Taking a deer by surprise and choosing not to fight it? Is that a real predator hiding there in the shadows? When he set up his trail camera, this man had no idea it would record an unsuccessful ambush attempt. A deer initially materialized in front of the camera and settled in to unwind, slumbering there for a while. Right before it shifts and briefly disappears from the view of the camera, two bright eyes materialized behind him and began to go to the side. Even though he was asleep, he instantly got to his feet and startled the predator after realizing he had been watched. Deer approaches hunter. Now, either this buck must have witnessed something for which he was unprepared, or a large beast is approaching to attack him. This hunter was aiming for the wild deer in the Kruger National Park. However, it was taken aback by his peculiar behavior, because the deer charged at him as soon as he brought down the rifle. Standing next to him, the spooked up deer didn't stop staring back at him even while the guy stroked it, as if someone was still at it. Even after the examiner saw the film, it became clear that the deer only act in this way when they are genuinely afraid or in need of some assistance. Face to face with chimps. This man, who generally shies away from people, was shocked to see the chimp seated next to him. He was terrified, but tried controlling himself. He's being incredibly patient. They gave off the creepiest vibes when they sniffed him and then pricked the terrified man with their sharp nails. Even more, one of them scaled the tree to presumably perch on the adventurer's back. And just when it seemed like the adventurer would always be under attack by the chimps, they started to leave. They all departed one by one, as though something had compelled them to. Thankful but perplexed, as quickly as they could, the explorers also left that place. Ghostly spirits. Strolling through Stansted Forest and past a little UK town, this man managed to snap an eerie scene. There were other ghostly spirits floating in the air along with the fog. A few had the appearance of an elderly woman, while others resembled children, and the rest were distorted as nothing could be made out of them. The people who live close to the woodland claim that these are the ghosts of an elderly couple who tragically died when they crossed the nearby railroad tracks, and they have been tormenting those who visit that woodland ever since. Bear attacks wild piglet. The Teon Ranch Conservancy is the scene of a ferocious hunt captured on camera, as a wild piglet is being chased by a grizzly. The bear made a leap, that is, a leap towards success, just as he was about to lose his catch, and managed to get the piglet this time. With his enormous jaws clamped shut, the bear disappears from view. But aren't we all aware of what transpired with the unfortunate piglet? It's obvious that this bear dislikes being in the spotlight. Observe his ferocious charge towards the camera. He returns to the wild, sad that nothing more could be done. Peeking alien. You won't be able to organize a late-night camping trip after watching this video, especially not in the middle of a creepy forest. Friends were building a fire to keep scavenging animals away from their tents when they heard an unexplained disturbance in the darkness. When one of the guys threw the fire in front of the tree, he wasn't expecting to find this. A little gray cryptid with pointed fingers was hiding behind the tree, attempting to stay warm. As the man filming it tried to get a better look, the creature hurriedly scurried away. Unfortunately, details regarding the figure were unavailable, but it appeared to me to be an extraterrestrial. Humo crab. A group of friends were enjoying a bonfire in the middle of the dense woods when they decided to go for the girl who had disappeared so they could make a call.
Can't see it very... Yeah.
This decision gave them the worst shock of their lives. While looking for the girl, they were horrified to discover that she was lying lifeless in front of a tree.
Stop. Okay.
Suddenly, though, an unsettling thing leapt out from behind one of the bushes. The unknown entity appeared to be a human crab-like monster with several limbs connected to a human body. Even if there was no satisfying conclusion to this video, these horrifying minutes should be enough to make you reconsider your camping plans the next time you go out. Sasquatch spotted in Russia. These 16-second video clips feature some of the weirdest moments anyone has ever witnessed, captured in 2011 by an unidentified source in Russia. This video provides a closer look at the most talked about mythological beast. With its enormous hairy torso and extended arms, it resembled a true Sasquatch. There was nothing else to be said about the creature because the man filming it appeared to be afraid of it. However, the flawless humanoid gait suggested that the fabled Sasquatch was in the woods, since it was spotted hurrying through them after realizing it was being filmed. Hidden striker. Wild animals have long been drawn to trail cameras. This time, it was a covert attacker who targeted a trail camera that was placed somewhere in Japan. the unidentified creature was standing at the back, moving the camera left to right in an attempt to remove it from the tree. When attacking from behind failed, a wild boar that was hidden there surfaced and continued to attempt to take the enigmatic object from a tree. Scary gator. Here we have another swamp inhabitant filmed somewhere in southwest Florida. It was spotted creepily approaching the trail camera with glowing eyes and horrifying features, giving the impression that it would snap open its hideous fangs and shatter the camera in an instant. Fortunately, though, this menacing alligator ignored the trail camera and moved quickly through the wet marsh while towing its powerful armored tail. Woodpecker smashed trail cam. 2 years ago, a group of scientists were recording various wildlife species with a trail cam when they recorded an incredible moment. Unfortunately, an aggressive woodpecker was drawn to the scene who was definitely not pleased with this new addition to the trunk. It began pecking the camera while staring straight into the lens, and it kept doing so until the camera was totally damaged. Whatever the purpose, it could be pecking to dig a nest hole or simply spotting an insect to eat. I was genuinely curious about the strength of that pointed beak. Lion chewed GoPro. This time, an inquisitive big cat targeted a GoPro instead of a trail cam. The lioness chose to approach and opened her enormous mouth to seize the camera with her strong teeth after ambushing the camera positioned at the rear of a Jeep. Following a successful camera heist, the large feline swiftly fled and was observed sprinting. She stole the camera from her owner and chewed on it with her pointed, sharp teeth in the bushes far away. And all that was visible to us was a close-up of its mouth. But when the lioness realized there was no flesh on that thing, she left it there and moved on. Strange alien sticks. This time, a trail cam caught footage of something entirely unearthly. Not a dogman or a Bigfoot, but a strange white person with missing hands and incomplete facial characteristics that was seen on camera at an unidentified location. It accurately appeared to be walking on its long, odd legs. Then, from a distance, a second monster with the same features appeared and began moving in the same way. Both of the unidentifiable animals bounced past the camera, moving their defective bodies on the strangely elongated legs. Though not much is known about these unidentified walking objects, they reminded me of marching alien sticks that had risen out of nowhere and vanished into the woods. Dog chased a hairy beast. A man took his dog to the lush habitat of the wild with the intention of recording some moments with the wildlife. The camera was set on the collar of the dog, and it unintentionally photographed a giant biped that appeared from one side and went directly in front of the camera while it was wandering through the wooded route. Many people assumed the enormous monster, which was briefly seen, was a bear, although bears don't typically hide. They attack. Upon closer inspection, the black features of a bear also resemble the legendary Bigfoot. Thus, is the Bigfoot or any other hairy beast making its way through there? Guesses, anyone? Wolfman hybrid. Following on the list is some of the strangest footage, which displays a big, hairy creature with some odd traits. Multiple times, an animal head was captured on a bipedal humanoid body. After seeing this video on a trail camera, a group of hunters made the decision to go to the woods in hopes of finding further hints. However, before they could get to the precise spot, they saw another hairy beast tampering with the enormous excavator bucket. Since they were moving, only a brief video of the scene was captured. Despite their efforts to halt and pursue the creature, it swiftly disappeared back into the jungle. They have become sufficiently persuaded of the Wolfman's existence after gathering substantial proof of the enormous black beast. Predator's mouth. The hairy body, the eerie mouth, and the teeth in the shape of a cone. When a man in Pennsylvania placed his trail camera above a little locust tree, he was startled by the bizarre images it took. Despite not being an animal, the camera managed to catch the interior of its mouth. The man initially mistook it for anything else and believed he had caught an enigmatic monster attempting to attack the camera. After viewing the photos repeatedly, he eventually realized that it wasn't an unidentified animal, but rather a fisher, a weasel family member drawn to the camera by the clicking sound it makes when taking images. Resting brute. Here's the hairy beast relaxing in the scorching sun, and here it's meandering through the forest. Strange noises have been heard coming from the state park nearby. The residents decided to install a trail camera to find out who was creating the weird noises, even though they weren't initially aware of the source. They were let down when they saw nothing on the trail cameras. However, just when they had given up on ever apprehending the rowdy neighbor, a hairy ape-like creature was seen lying on the ground by one of the trail cameras. The enormous size of the beast, even in its state of repose, was enough to freeze the people to the bone. Here is the hairy brute resting under the blazing sun, and here it is strolling in the woods. Unknown animal. Well now, that's one spooky critter that was spotted wandering through the forest. The image was captured by a trail camera in the Mexican woods in 2019 and occasionally appears online. The image depicts a spooky creature that, despite his hyena-like features, is significantly different from one due to his hairless body. What then was it? The man made the solo decision to go into the woods in an attempt to get answers. After failing to locate one, it was when he was making his way back that he noticed odd sounds coming from the deep forest. However, ill-prepared to face the terrifying creature, he made the decision to retreat. Lucky squirrel. More than an hour was spent stalking it and waiting for the right moment. Finally, the owl made the decision to go after the squirrel. However, the hungry owl's day was not lucky, since, as it pursued the squirrel through the forest, it was about to subdue it with its sharp claws. And then came the tree, and it struck the bark quite hard. Thus, the squirrel hid beneath the fallen leaves this time, taking advantage, rendering it uncatchable for the owl. Spooked deers. 3 deer running in the opposite way from each other. Many are trying to figure out what might have happened to frighten the deer after seeing this image captured by a trail camera. Although I believe I know the answer to these concerns, from the exact track, another camera caught a partially visible deer facing the opposite direction, because that's where the Bigfoot is, right behind the prickly bushes. It's also possible that the deer have seen the Bigfoot here as well, which would explain why they are so terrified. Christmas beast. When one family saw something in the woods on Christmas Eve, their day became a nightmare. The Bigfoot was just briefly captured on film when it emerged from the pitch-black jungle and glided around its edge. As a result, it was difficult to trust the video. The dog is seen sprinting in the same direction that the Bigfoot was strolling up to at this point. Fearful yet growling at the creature, the dog practically lost control. And honestly, the video seems pretty legit due to that dog's reaction. And even though this location is different, the camera captured a similar figure strolling along the icy sidewalk. Struck by owls. While exploring Arizona's deep forests, explorers have claimed to have seen a large number of dead birds. They were also able to determine the cause by installing their trail camera. These unfortunate eagles, resting on the tree, had no idea that a predator was waiting for them. When he was initially hidden in the dark woodland, the only way to identify the flying predator was with his bright eyes. Waiting for the right moment to strike, and then taking it, it materializes out of the shadows and accomplishes his intended task, striking the dozing eagle with his powerful claws. With his intensity, it appears nearly impossible for him to stop coming. Where in their defense, the eagles have most likely forgotten to soar, they could see the squirrel taking care of it for them. He made a huge, seemingly airborne leap as soon as he realized he was going to be attacked. However, This is where the owl was seen abruptly appearing on the track and striking the rider in the face. Wood chase. The days of mountain lions avoiding human interaction are long gone, as they are now frequently spotted interacting with hunters, and yes, even pursuing hikers. Like this time, a hiker on the route came with an enraged cougar. Trying to get the cougar to go away, practically pleading with it, the man turned to go back, but was unable to turn around, because that hungry predator would have an open invitation to go after him.
I promise. I'm not going away.
Since it's already waiting for its chance to assault the man. The man did indicate his safe return when he published the video, despite the fact that it ended in the middle of the chase. And here it was, a bear that had been seen pursuing the rider into the woodland. The bear bolted toward the cyclist, appearing out of nowhere among the trees. Even though he was riding quickly, the man was startled by a falling tree. He immediately got to his feet and raced to the right side of the woods, where he was fortunately spared from the assault. Sasquatch hunting. Paul Freeman, who was always on the lookout for Bigfoot in the impenetrable forests, gained notoriety in the late 1990s for presenting the most reliable Bigfoot evidence. And it's one of those unquestionable catches here. Captured in 1994 in Oregon's Blue Mountains, while on a walk in the woods, Paul noticed movement behind one of the trees. He quickly opened his camera and saw the walking bipedal ape. Heart thumping, he continued filming the hirsute beast, terrified by his discoveries. The hairy cryptid was big enough to be seen, even if it was moving slowly. Following analysis, he went on to say that it was a massive beast that stood at least 2 meters tall. Gazelle ditches lion. When it comes to the lion versus any other wild animal, I believe that we are all a little biased toward the king of the jungle. However, this video will totally shift your point of view. A group of explorers was filming a gazelle drinking water in the Serengeti National Park when they noticed a lion coming stealthily in. They also predicted the outcome. Just as the lion was about to seize the gazelle, it surprised it with its incredible speed and leapt over it, heading in a different direction, surprising both the onlookers and the lion. As the gazelle managed to preserve itself, it was undoubtedly a memorable defeat, and the lion was unable to turn around due to his rapid speed. Well, if it was a stall, I must say, gazelles are quite good at it. Cougar defense. Video footage of a mother cougar and her cub, taken in the Mendocino National Forest, opens with them cuddling. However, you are unaware that a grizzly bear is about to spoil this amazing occasion. I must admit, though, that the bear is likewise unaware of the mommy's fighting skills. The mother cougar swiftly covered her kids and moved toward the approaching bear, while keeping an eye on it. The bear struggled fiercely, but was eventually bitten severely on one of its ears, which ultimately turned out to be a cue for the bear to retreat. The grizzly outruns the cougar and retreats back into the jungle, even though it was being followed. Bear chasing bald eagle. This merely serves as evidence of how far a bear will go to obtain its meal. A family was fishing in northern Saskatchewan when they noticed an eagle's nest perched atop a towering tree. The scene was captured in a Canadian forest. However, a bear charged the tree and began attempting to scale it shortly after a few minutes had passed. The bear was carrying a big load and was having trouble climbing the tree, but the family said that despite falling multiple times, he never gave up. And at last, reaching up there, it is seen fighting and outlasting the parents, even at such a height, and coming back down, holding the eaglet in its teeth. Kansas skunk ape. Numerous tales of the Kansas City skunk ape that was frequently discovered in the woods are making the rounds on social media, but this one was above them all. While strolling her dog through the jungle, a woman noticed a massive, hairy creature ambling through the trees. The beast was likely 6 feet tall, with dense hair covering its face, making it nearly impossible to see. What do you guys think this anonymous being was? Despite the fact that many think it's a Sasquatch that was photographed, some people are skeptical about it, and viewers find it difficult to accept that the creature in the film is genuinely a Bigfoot, rather than a costumed human, because it's a little grainy. Grizzly bear attack caribou. This time, it's a caribou. Grizzlies are no doubt the most determined animals when it comes to feeding their empty gizzards. And coming up with different strategies, they really don't give their opponents a chance to strike back. Drinking water from the stream, the caribou found itself standing in the face of death as a bear was aiming at it, striking with its massive antlers and running off to the other side, just when the caribou thought it had outrun the bear. There it was again, standing behind the poor animal. And this time, when the caribou tried to scare the bear off with its antlers, it grabbed it from there, and, well, don't we all know what happened next? Climbing coyote. One thing is certain. If it results in the wild creatures stuffing their stomachs, they won't think twice about doing anything. Because, well, how often do you see a coyote up a tree? Elka, a Pine Lake resident, took a picture of the coyote eating berries while perched on a tree branch. After initially consuming them from the ground, when it was unable to reach the delicious berries, it made the decision to ascend. Coyotes are thought to be able to climb up to 18 meters. Thus, even if it appears common, they are rarely spotted doing so. Bear and hunters. Perched on a hunting stand, the hunter believed he was hidden from the wild creatures. However, he was proved wrong as a bear approached to say hello. After spotting it perched atop, it swiftly scales the tree and confronts the hunter. The bear investigated the tree, and the man also dropped to the ground. Remarkably composed, the hunter captured the entire event on camera. When these two charged on the top of the tree, those hunters were shivering, even if the preceding one had been a little calmer. Fortunately, they returned after sniffing one of them and losing interest immediately. Buck attacks trail cam. They look like they're ready for a battle when they appear on camera. The deer bolted toward the camera after buckling up and standing in front of it. When you hit it a bit lightly at first, it returns quite fiercely this time and then comes back. The deer genuinely glared at the camera, not only missing this time. He then attempts to destroy it while working on its backup plan. After a package of destruction, the bear returned to the jungle. The owner of the camera was taken aback by its peculiar behavior, which had no apparent explanation. Croc hunts wild boar. A visual representation that conveys the feeling of being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Standing in the water because of the wild dogs waiting for it in the dry land, this wild boar has no idea that it has unintentionally invited another dangerous predator. A crocodile hiding in the water stalked the boar while it considered how to get rid of the hounds. It then leaped at the boar, clutched it, and threw it back into the water as soon as it noticed the approaching predator. Their expressions show that, despite their grief at losing their capture, the dogs are also grateful that it was not one of them. Werewolf encounter. The widespread belief is that werewolves typically surfaced at a full moon. Although, however, a man claimed to have had a near brush with a werewolf on a pitch-black night 3 years prior in Brazil. When the horrifying beast came out of the shadowy jungle, it was observed cowering behind a wooden structure. But as soon as it realized it was being observed, it leapt out and tried to harm the man who was filming it. Fortunately, though, the man was able to flee, and all he saw was a glimpse of the werewolf attempting to intrude into his one and only backyard. Bear inspecting trail cam. Are you still under the impression that the only creatures that venture outside at night to investigate are the mythical ones? We have a really weird video that shows a creature with thick, hairy limbs attempting to seize control of a trail camera. The enormous, inquisitive bear attempted to take hold of the camera with its teeth after utilizing its enormous hands to take it out. A bear's powerful teeth can typically completely destroy a camera. However, when this footage abruptly stops, what could have happened to the camera is unknown to me. Can someone further enlighten me? The Catalonian Fallen Angel. Have you ever seen something so eerie and bony that it made you reconsider going out at night? Meet the terrifying cryptid known as the Catalonian Fallen Angel, which was seen on camera in Spain. We're not sure if it's a real demon or simply a crazy person. That glaring eye and the lightning-fast movement, though, would make anyone want to flee for the hills. Some people even assert that it has wings remaining on its back. Whether or not this is a fallen angel, it's truly an unsettling creature. Clever monkeys. This trail camera footage shows a group of inquisitive monkeys. They approach the camera and look at it curiously at the start of the film, demonstrating their curiosity. A courageous monkey even ventures closer to examine the enigmatic contraption in further detail. But what at first glance appeared to be a harmless curiosity quickly takes an unexpected turn. The monkeys eventually show their real colors after engaging in some lighthearted conversation. They had been plotting to take the camera all along. It's clear that these primates are up to no good as soon as the camera moves. Their cleverness and resourcefulness are astounding us with their naughty conduct, demonstrating once more the wonders and secrets of the natural world. Mysterious encounter down under. 3 friends can be seen jokingly posing for a picture at 4:38 in this North Australian video, completely oblivious to the strange event taking place behind them. Rather than taking a picture, the camera bearer captures a remarkable moment in time. Something that defies description appears behind them and makes them feel extremely afraid. Slowing down the video allows us to get a better look at this mysterious creature, which has an odd mix of human and canine features. Its elongated limbs are humanoid in appearance, although they are strangely thin. The creature, clad in blackness, moves on all fours, displaying an unsettling agility. This incredible experience serves as a reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond our knowledge, even though its true identity is yet unknown. Mysterious highway encounter. Picture yourself driving down a busy highway, going about your business, when you see something strange happen. A driver is left completely perplexed when they see an unexpected scene on their camera. A van comes up from the other side as they round a bend. Observe carefully as a man appears out of nowhere on the road, appearing to be falling. There's no chance of his falling out of the car because the doors never open. Rumors are rife. Did he really have remarkable powers, or did a gateway arise and send him along the road? We're left wondering about the unexplainable since we don't know the man's identity or the whole tale. Mysterious glitch in reality. In this strange video that went viral on social media, a man is shown naively going down a set of stairs without any idea what terrifying things are going to happen to him. Something very unsettling occurs when he goes onto the pavement. Out of nowhere, he trips over a woman's lifeless body that's lying on the ground. Twice the video is replayed, once in slow motion and again featuring a close-up of the enigmatic, unmoving figure. Such unexplainable occurrences are frequently referred to as a glitch in the matrix, where reality appears to briefly distort beyond comprehension. Viewers are perplexed by the woman's abrupt entrance and uncannily lifeless state. So what are your thoughts? After seeing the film, share your comments with us about this enigmatic and bewildering mystery. A figure in the wilderness. Imagine watching your trail cam footage and coming across this strange sight. Likely, you would consider one of 2 options. Initially, there was a scarecrow that had unexplainably fallen from its pole, possibly to go see the magician. Alternatively, you could have a sense of being lost in a forested rendition of Elm Street. A human-looking figure with an odd helmet rushing across the woods makes no sense at all. It's enough to send shivers down anyone's spine and leave you wondering what in the world, or beyond it, you just saw. At times, the natural world can genuinely astonish us with mysterious and unsettling experiences, leaving us with more questions than answers. Cryptid in woods. This man is unaware that a scary beast is about to destroy his plans to explore the woods early in the morning. After setting up camp in the forest and choosing to go around the trails, the man noticed an odd cryptid behind one of the trees in the footage he was filming. He was heard inquiring if that was a cow approaching, possibly perceiving it was a wild animal. However, the odd-looking, whitish thing approached the man before he could identify it, leaving him with nearly little time to rescue himself. However, the man scrambled to get away from the menacing stalker. And furthermore, since the video finishes abruptly, it is unclear what happened next. Stalking a Bigfoot. This time, a man rather than the Bigfoot made the decision to follow it. As he entered the woodland in the snow, the man was certain he would find what he was looking for. Not so simple, however, after spending several hours strolling through the woods. The man saw this thing. The hirsute person, either unaware of him or choosing to ignore him, was observed strolling around, unfazed by the man. This time, he grabbed the beast from a slightly closer perspective, since he was not content with the distance he had previously used. Just take a look at the Sasquatch's lofty height and bushy torso. The analysts saw that the beast was at least 1.7 meters tall, and could have easily finished the victim if he had wanted to after reviewing the footage. But luckily, it did not. Sasquatch on stroll. The man was hiking through the Maine woods in the morning, not realizing he had a buddy with him, creating a video blog and discussing the trails of the deep woods and the wildlife that may be found there. Just before the guy moved his camera, the supposed Sasquatch was seen standing motionless next to a large tree, presumably hiding from the man or pursuing him. Throughout the entire time the camera was focused on it, that Yeti remained still. However, the man only got a glimpse of the terrifying figure, since he failed to recognize it immediately. Snowy Bigfoot. A group of adventurers saw this strange bipedal creature strolling down the mountain as they were standing in the middle of nowhere. Its enormous torso was completely covered in dense black hair. Examiners found that it would be impossible for a human to walk on the snow slope without any obvious assistance, despite some witnesses claiming it was just another hiker on the mountain. The people were astounded that it traveled such a great distance in a short period of time, especially considering how difficult it is for an individual to walk at such a high speed in the snow at the moment the camera captured the wide panorama. Horned animal. The creature was discovered in Colombia by a farmer who was searching the area for bees after it had crept out of a spiky bush. The animal's unusual appearance was enhanced by its two horns over its head and its black color. It was sitting beneath a power pole and was staring straight at the cameraman, giving off the impression that it would attack at any second. However, the man was so afraid of the unsettling cryptid that he dared not approach it. After a few minutes outside, that horned beast vanished behind some bushes and was never seen again. Unicorn elk. This unicorn is not exactly like others, but it gained notoriety due to a deformity in the antler directly above the nose. Thus, it became the elk family's unicorn. Taken in Tampico, a tiny town close to Illinois, this deer had an unusual appearance when it first appeared on the trail camera. While other onlookers thought it was an alien species because it was so unusual, researchers explained that, despite being unusual, this phenomenon is caused by a genetic mutation, or occasionally an injury sustained during the antler growth process. Witch in dark. A farmer installed a trail camera to record what happens there after midnight after hearing odd noises for a few evenings in a row. At first, nothing was captured, but when the man had started giving up hope, an unsettling figure started to appear from the screen. The monster had luminous eyes and an alien-like visage, giving it the appearance of a witch. The people were in disbelief since they had never seen a creature like this before, because they could not see the remainder of the body in the dark forest. What was it then? An extraterrestrial? A sorceress? Tell me what you guys think, please. Road crossing Yeti. Driving down a road encircled by a dark forest, a man was forced to apply the brakes quickly. How come? Well, the answer is that strange thing that's sitting in the middle of the road. Upon catching sight of it from a distance, the man initially believed it to be a man in need of assistance. However, he stopped his car there, and as he was ready to get out, the cryptid began to crawl away from the road and into the bushes. The crawler's eerie characteristics are enough to frighten anyone, even if they are a little fuzzy. And since it was posted in 2021, the authorities have not disclosed anything regarding its genuine identity. What then was it? Tell me what you think. Skinwalker. This pale creature, who appeared to be elderly, was observed strolling around Kentucky in 2022. Inspiring paranormal buffs, this video went viral right away. The video's unsettling atmosphere is enhanced by the alien-looking humanoid monster that is seen strolling down an abandoned street. It also appears to be a little slumped over. The creature appears to be lurking from somewhere and has a faceless body. Is it a ghost captured on camera, or might it really be an alien hiding from humans? While many people accept the visuals that have been supplied, some people reject the hypothesis and contest the veracity of the film, arguing that it might actually be a human being walking strangely. So, whose side are you on? Let me know. Lion attack. Wild creatures are one thing that people are always afraid to come across when they venture into the woods. Nobody can ensure a safe return if that wild animal turns out to be a lion. When these guys were heading inside their tents for the night, one such incident occurred. When two unexpected guests showed up in front of their tents, they began attacking anything that stood in their way. The lions appeared to be searching inside for prey, mostly out of curiosity and rage. One of them, the reportedly more hungry lion, noticed the man hiding in the tent and began tearing it apart with its powerful claws. Lingering for a while, unsure if he would catch his intended victim, finally the lions both depart, but with a scary memory for those campers to always remember. Ancient creature. In 2018, a strange-looking creature was discovered in a tiny Russian village. The farmer was walking home from a busy day when he noticed this freaky head emerging from the ground. He was captured on camera in a cornfield. He discovered the entire thing after going a little further, and it was much stranger than before. It resembled an undiscovered prehistoric species that had been discovered buried, thanks to its strange eyes and even stranger torso. And despite the fact that the scientists examined it right away, nothing has come to light. This gave it an even more ominous appearance. Rake caught in dark. The man who lived close to the woods decided to investigate after hearing unusual noises emanating from somewhere deep within the forest. Following his friend, they spent nearly an hour searching the dense forests without finding anything. They made the decision to go back. However, they began to hear the grunting sound once more as they were returning. And as soon as they turned their cameras to the other side, they saw a frightening thing that resembled an alien sitting next to a tree. When the cryptid realized it had been captured, it turned to face the boys and glared at them with its terrifying glowing eyes. They were eventually forced to flee back to their house. Spooked deer. Captured in North Carolina, a deer could be seen grazing on the ground. However, it stops abruptly there and looks about as though something has startled it. Not seeing anything, just as the deer keeps on, it notices something once again, and a bit larger this time around. Just take a peek at how it frightfully dashes to the other side and turns back. What then might it be? Something like a demon? An untamed animal? However, why wasn't it captured by the camera if it was an animal? So, what was it actually? Bipedal deer. A woman was taken aback to witness the peculiar behavior of a herd of deer that had wandered up to her house as she was filming them. Everything was going along normally until all of a sudden there was a wave of unease among the herd, and some of them fled, leaving the others behind, until one of them chose to rear up on its back legs in order to display the object's hidden power. Frightening the women and the other deer, none of them had ever witnessed this action in such a way. When people began referring to it as a shape-shifting alien, researchers discovered nothing remarkable. Surprisingly though, deer frequently use this tactic to scare and subdue their opponents. Ghost on tree. The hazy apparition with glowing eyes was photographed in Brazil and gave the onlookers a spooky feeling. A humanoid entity perched atop the tree appears a little perplexed as people point at it. However, because it resembles an extraterrestrial, the fact that it was just as afraid of the humans as they were of it raises suspicions. It is challenging to understand what these individuals are genuinely attempting to accomplish, because they are communicating in a foreign tongue. It's evident that despite their fear of its peculiar appearance, they are attempting to somehow capture it. However, it vanished abruptly out of nowhere, leaving the onlookers in disbelief, since they were unable to determine what it was. Tired moose. Animals seem to have a habit of becoming caught in the most unlikely locations. This time, a moose became lodged in a tire swing. A man was astonished to see the moose outside the house during the day because it was severely trapped. And then, at first, attempting to save it with a large stick. The moose was already scared, so it proved to be of little assistance. In order to try to save the tree by sitting on the stump, the man had to climb the tree. Even so, it was not simple. For once, though, it worked, and then watch the moose return without hindrance. And here's another moose who was spotted crossing the road, trapped in a mesh tree swing. Sasquatch shadow. It appears here for a split second before disappearing. What may this flashing object be that was captured on camera? Many people thought the animal captured on camera was a mountain lion or possibly a bear, but when the footage was shown to the investigators, they discovered that the animal was actually a baby Sasquatch. This is due to the animal's incredible speed and the plausible head that appears on the camera, indicating that it's a bipedal animal. A second identical creature was seen on video, most likely excavating on the forest's ground. It appears to have limbs and legs similar to the rumored Bigfoot. So, is that video footage of a Bigfoot? Or do you have a better explanation? Tell me, please. Biped wolf. Driving close to a forest after midnight, the motorist had to apply the brakes right away after seeing something strange. No, it wasn't a Yeti, but rather a wolf ambling on its hind legs. He was already terrified of the stories of the Bigfoot. But hold on a second. Is that a wolf, really? Its slender limbs, peculiar feet, and hardly noticeable ears don't really give it a dog-like appearance. However, it does possess the wolf's fuzzy-like skin. Is that a wolf or some other kind of animal? Tell me what you think of the odd wolf photo. Intruder alert. When the camera was recording the bald eagle's nest, something unsettling happened. Initially, the mother eagle is observed tending to the eggs and then taking a brief flight away from the nest. Upon her return, another eagle joins the nest. Even though the female recognizes the predator's plan, she waits for the initial move while sitting on the eggs. However, it continues to vocally warn the eagle. Not one to go away empty-handed, the male eagle steps forward a little. he was going to charge the one who was seated when she sprung directly in front of him, knocking him from the tree. She then checks the area to make sure her eggs are secure. Coyote and deer. There was a wounded deer visible in front of the trail camera. Two tiny but ferociously hungry coyotes are standing behind it, waiting for the buck to faint so they can get to the meat. Even though the buck is awake, it appears as though it has given up on life because it does not defend itself from the coyotes that are getting closer. However, the coyotes don't always come out on top in the end, just like this. The mother deer appears to be in front of the camera, gathers her two fawns, and leaves the woodland after realizing that a brush wolf has been pursuing her young. And then, a little while later, the mother deer was spotted once more, sprinting after the coyote and narrowly missing it by a few inches. She was later observed circling around a bushy tree in an attempt to capture the fleeing coyote. She was unable to do so, but she managed to save her young from the predators. Hyena chases wildebeest. The coyote surprised the people by capturing the herd of wildebeest during the safari that came rushing towards them. One of them is visible breaking away from the herd, even though the others adhered to the directive to stick to the herd. And seizing the opportunity, the predator began pursuing it, even though it had moved a short distance and the coyote was still having difficulty catching up with it. After a while of running and chasing each other, they were both observed once more, but this time the wild beast was seen fighting the predator. But after growing weary of the chase, the beast eventually met his demise.